pull up a chair. This is Off the Back Porch. Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer is brought to you in part by Country Village Sporting Goods. Everything you need to get in the woods, the water, or to the camp is at Country Village Sporting Goods. Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy at State Farm is there. And Larry's Pizza in El Dorado, home of the Double Pizza Parade.
20 plus years of bringing you the most important and latest information with local happenings, news, sports, opinions, and probably an attempt at humor. Also brought to you in part by Davis Farms Country Market. For farm to table fresh, it's Davis Farms Country Market. Cook's Body Shop. Chances are it will happen. And when it does, look to Cook's. Murphy Arts District. For the latest information on concerts and events, go to eldomad.com.
Recorded live from Main Street Pizza in historic, beautiful downtown El Dorado, Arkansas. With a history of being the voices you trust. This is Off the Back Porch with Boomer and Sandy. Or Sandy and Boomer. Or two old guys you've known for a long time, whatever. And now your hosts, Troy, Boomer, Barrios, and B.A. Sandy Sanford.
Hey, and thank you to our good friend Johnny for that big introduction, big voice, you know. Johnny Dean.
The guy has a voice that is very marketable, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I hear him, listen, I hear him doing commercials like all over
Everywhere.
the place. You know, I hear him doing national commercials, and
that's what I'm shooting for.
Is to do national commercials. Yeah, me too. You know, I'm going to be on a TV show, by the way.
Which one?
Well, I got to work out to get there, but it's my 600-pound life. I'm just going to go to 600 pounds and so I can be on that show.
That'd be easier to go back, wouldn't it? Yeah. I believe I could get to 600.
You know,
maybe not. I can get to 300.
You know, I was telling the princess, the 9-year-old, the other day that I was going to go on this TV show, and she was all excited for me. Yeah. You know, and I told her that my 600-pound life, and she's like, Dad, and I said, and I'm gonna be like, y'all bring me some bacon. I can't even wipe my own booty.
That's what I always thought about.
You know no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know how that happens.
Well, they're the ones that you see are laying in a bed with no clothes on, like a big walrus or
yeah.
And you don't have to censor anything because it's all covered up.
It's all covered up.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to see it.
But if you want to send them to the hospital, you got to take a wall out and bring in a tractor
Forklift.
Trailer and a crane or something.
Notify the union ahead of time.
Get them not on a break.
Make sure you're caught up on your OSHA guidelines.
There you
right.
go.
I mean,
at
everything.
Your house,
yeah,
even.
everything. So
besides being fat and unhealthy,
yeah,
you have to do all that every time.
And then, you know, of course, they go see that doctor. I don't know what nationality he is. The one in Houston is, you are fat because you are eating too much. Scientific fact.
There's nothing,
you know.
Yeah, there's nothing psychological about it. You may be psychologically eating, but the pure facts of the matter is you're bringing in more calories than's going out.
Well, there was one lady. She was so excited. I can tell I've lost weight, you know, because she'd been down there to him before the surgery. You know, a lot of times he'll make them lose a couple 100 pounds.
Yeah, let's just show me you can.
You know, and I'm so excited. I know I lost weight. Blah blah blah, and you know, she's wearing a shower curtain. Mm-hmm. For a moo-moo, and she's like, it's looser, and she had lost 18 pounds. Not insignificant in many instances.
Yeah, but in the
but when you're 730 pounds to start with,
yeah, and you're losing,
and
18.
you lose 18,
you can't.
Well,
tell.
He was pissed. I mean, that doctor, he was like, I told you to, you know, that's all I've been eating. No, you are lying. You're lying to me. This is not all you've been eating. You know,
there will be no lying to me.
I had a teacher in the 6th grade who said that they were going to write a weight loss book, and said that the front page was going to say that you have to burn more calories than you eat, and then the book would end.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't write it. Nobody would publish that.
Now, you know, I'm still a large lad, and I've still got a long ways to go, but I am about 120 pounds lighter than when I started my weight loss journey, right? And the one thing I did figure out is, because I started off at 360 pounds. You were with me when they weighed me. And 360 pounds. And you don't get to 360 pounds because you got your crap together. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've got some deep-seated emotional
there's some underlying issues. Yeah.
Yeah, there's issues there. I mean, I had a whole subscription worth of issues.
Yeah.
And but you have to then start facing those things. And so I have slowly but surely, and knocked one or two of them out anyway.
You know what I did? To fix all my issues? I just ordered them Ozempic shots.
That fixed all your
You don't have
issues.
to fix any issues. Just take that shot, and you won't feel like eating chocolate milk duds anymore. Hey, I'm cut down to a 2-day-a-box milk dud habit now.
Oh, okay.
For over the past 6 months, I don't know what it was. I just got hung up on milk duds, and I'd eat like 3 boxes or 4 boxes of milk duds.
How does your dentist feel about that?
Right.
I don't go to him. I don't. He retired. Larkin Wilson. He retired.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm down to 2 boxes.
I don't know about y'all. My dentist, she scares me.
Who'd you go to?
And Christy Ely. Yeah, she scares me.
Well,
She was on my butt so much about chewing tobacco. And I'm like, Christy, I've been chewing tobacco since I was 8.
Your teeth weren't down there. You said she was on your butt.
Oh, whatever.
Trying to make a butt joke, and he won't even let me do it.
Hey, Nolan's gonna love watching this episode.
Nolan, the 6-year-old, he's in all about
He
this.
got his butt. He said butt.
He said butt. Now all you got to do is mention buns and wieners.
Or doo-doo.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm like, look, I've been chewing tobacco since I was 8. I'm not sure, at that time I was like 51. I was like, I'm not sure if I can quit. And she's like, oh, well, you will eventually. You will eventually quit.
Well, when they put you in a box.
Right.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm just hoping that you still have your jaw when you get to that point. And so, I heard what she was saying. And so right at 2 years ago, I made the decision, okay.
No more tobacco.
No more.
But you still got the little...
The little nicotine pouches,
Yeah.
And here's, ironically, my doctor says it's the best thing you can do. He said if it was up to him, he'd put it in the drinking water. That nicotine is actually good for you in small amounts.
Yeah, so there actually have been studies around nicotine being a stimulant and the positive effects it can have on exercise depending on the method of ingestion or.
He has a degree in exercise science.
Yeah,
that's why.
I do. Also, we kind of brushed over the fact that I'm
the
guest.
By the way,
well, everybody knows you.
By the way, my oldest son, Jax Sanford, and our general sales manager for South Arkansas now, is here with us today.
Yeah, this is my 3rd time being on the podcast, and I feel like we are kind of getting into the territory now where it can be off the back porch with Sandy and Boomer and sometimes Jax. We could change the official title. I wouldn't be upset about it.
We might go there.
We've talked about changing the title to Off the Back Porch with anyone other than Sandy and Boomer.
Because according to what the request from some of the write-ins.
The letters, the messages.
They said they'd rather watch Meerkat Manor than or paint
enticing.
dry.
Yeah.
But evidently, nicotine also has a vascular effect. It opens vessels and
It has blood flow. It has a vasodilation effect. The only concern
paid a lot for
A
that.
lot of money for that.
Hey, listen, it was an expensive
Well worth
degree. It was an expensive degree. Anybody want to chip in on those student loans? More than welcome. But with that vasodilation, the main concern around nicotine usage in higher dosage is going to be the hardening of those blood vessels, and that's where nicotine really becomes dangerous. And the level of nicotine that's delivered through vapes is astronomically higher than the.
Well,
level that's
44 years of
required.
chewing tobacco. If I didn't harden my vessels by then, I don't know.
And we smoked for a lot of years too.
I did not a lot of years, but I did. Yeah,
I did.
I did too.
37.
That was the only time I didn't chew tobacco.
So when you smoke
It was when I
tobacco.
was smoking it. But I still do the little nicotine pouches. And then, so when I went to my dentist this last time, she says, if I didn't know it from talking to you and I didn't know it from looking at your chart, I couldn't tell you ever chewed tobacco by looking at your mouth. She said, really, if I really look, I can be like, maybe. She said, but the regenerative growth has been astounding. I'm like, well, as much money as I've spent on this mouth.
Yeah, we all have it. All
Good
have
gosh.
it at the astounding. Martha has had she had had every tooth root canaled and a cap on it. And it finally, those caps wore out and your posts deteriorate and everything. So at one point, she had all the back teeth done. So she's just decided to bite the bullet. And she had the rest of them pulled and had the
Implants?
well, not the implants, but the posts put in the top that snap in. And then the bottom is a bridge. But she did it economically at the Learning Hospital in Little Rock, where they can give you is a local. They can't put you under because it's a teaching hospital. And so dude has to do something and then call the professor over there to approve it. And she came out of there, and brother, I want to tell you, you know those hospitals where they've got the colored lines to get you where you need to go? Well, she didn't need no colors. She didn't need no doors. I was almost jogging. She goes, let's go. I was almost this has been a number of years ago now. I was almost at a jog to try to keep up with her to get out of that.
She wanted to get over there and fill the Percocets up.
She was ready to get out of that hospital, brother. She said it was the pain, but she has a very high tolerance to pain as you do. But she said it was the pressure. The pressure that it takes, to hold you down and hold your jaw. And but at any rate, boy, she's got some nice choppers now, as well as you.
Yeah, well, again, for what these have cost.
Now, I've been told, and and a lot of it has to do with age and what you drink, tea and coffee. And my teeth are just naturally yellow. Have been yellow since I was a child. And my dad's were the same color. And I had a dentist tell me, he said, that's because they're very strong. The stronger your teeth are, the more keratin or carrots or whatever they put in your teeth, the stronger they are. So I do have strong teeth. But I had one that cracked in the back, and I just had it extracted and then put another one in. And so Larkin was saying, yeah, we love people that chew ice.
Yeah.
He says, just keep on cracking that ice with your teeth.
Yep.
And anyway, so much for teeth, huh? How about yours, Jax? You got good teeth?
No.
Okay.
He talked about spending money on his mouth. He's also spent a lot of money on my mouth.
I have.
And even now, like
They're white.
I brush my teeth religiously.
Yeah.
I never minded going to the dentist, but I didn't want to have to keep going to the dentist.
Oh, I got you.
And it just eventually clicked for me one day as a kid, like, okay, like I have to brush my teeth all the time. So I'm religious about brushing my teeth in the morning and at night. It's hard for me to fall asleep if I haven't brushed my teeth.
Yeah. Got that filmy feel.
And then if I wake up and I didn't brush my teeth, it's almost sickening, just the taste in my mouth by the time I wake up. And so I brush my teeth a lot, and I still have problems. I had I was telling the story earlier this week about one of my wisdom teeth grew in crooked and had a hole in it, and I had no idea that it was that bad. I could just feel it with my tongue that ain't right, but I had no idea. One time getting a cavity filled in high school, they were drilling. I said, ow. They're like, you shouldn't feel that. Let's give you another lidocaine shot. And that happened about 2 more times. Well, on the final time that they gave me a lidocaine shot, when they did, I don't know if they hit directly on a nerve or what, but immediately the entire left side of my face, numb, gone, doesn't exist, not there. And to this day, I've never had a toothache. I actually broke a tooth a couple of weeks ago, and I'm waiting to get it.
You got enough lidocaine and stuck in there.
I actually broke a tooth a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I'm waiting to get it pulled. Just all the dentists here are busy. It's like kind of crazy how every dentist in El Dorado is booked up till like May, and it's January, or it was January.
Have you seen how much crack and meth goes on around?
Yeah, you know what?
Well, those are people who don't care about dental health.
Well, or can afford it, or will spend the money on it.
Would spend the money on it, right. That's but I went for a cleaning in November or December. I went for a cleaning, and normally schedule cleaning 6 months, right? My next one is scheduled for August. So
and you went when?
I went in November.
So if you know any friends graduating from dental school here in the near future,
I'll tell you right now, Christy Ely will hire them today.
She would, yeah.
She has been, I know for a fact, because she told me this, and that is she has gone around the country like looking for dentists.
To help her.
To get them here. And, she wasn't even accepting new patients when she took us in. And I was just like, look, there's 6 of us, you know, because the only 2 that weren't at the house at that point were Jax and Micah. And I said, there's, you know, but my dentist retired. So what are we going to do? And she, I don't remember. She said, I can't get you in before such and such because I'm getting a new dentist. And when that new dentist comes on, then I can accept new patients. Well, I think I went a little over a year between cleanings. And that I don't like that either. You know, so.
Well, I asked her, you know, when Larkin retired, I said, "Can I come to you?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Just you might have to wait a little bit." So,
yeah.
But let me tell you something else that's good to know, and I might sound like a commercial for Scope or Mini Fresh or whatever. Dr. Tichenor's, baby.
Oh yes.
If you are not using Dr. Tichenor's now,
it cures a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's alcoholism, but here's AIDS. Yeah, my son-in-law, the last time they came, he's from Missouri. He was born and raised and grew up in Springfield area, and so Dr. Tichenor's must not reach up there. So they're here for the holidays last year, and he comes down next morning. He goes, you know, I've always seen that Dr. Tichenor's up there in your bathroom. He said, and I poured me a little cap of it, and I thought I'd just try that. He said, oh, my God.
Mistake number 1.
I said, dude, you didn't read the label, did you? I said, you mix it 32-1. I said, you got to have your mouth full of water when you put it. And so he said, I felt like my cheeks are cauterized. I said, that's because they are.
They are. That's right.
Because it's like 96% alcohol.
You know, so again, B.A., my grandfather, teetotaler, right, did not drink. And there was a funny story behind that I won't go into, but he didn't drink. But every night at about 9:58, because he would do it just before the 10 o'clock news would come on, he'd go back there and he had false teeth. He'd take them out, and he'd come back out of the bathroom, eyes glazed over, reeking of Dr. Tichenor's. And it was just his little shot to help him sleep at night. You know? And it'll do that too.
Well, my dad, for as long as I knew him, had he's always a phlegm in his throat. And so in the little side pocket of his cars back then, you know, they had a little, that's back when you could press the I-beams on the floor. And so he had some Dr. Tichenor's down there. He said, you know, I quit carrying that around because he said, you know, there's a lot of people that drink that for alcohol.
Yeah.
And Ted was a definite teetotaler in that he never started drinking as a young man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were 9 boys and 3 girls in his family. So he said there were brothers that were gone when he was born.
You know what that feels like?
Yeah, I know what that feels like. So, so he would see his brothers drink that hard liquor, and he said how they hated it and had to choke it down. And he said, I just chose never to drink any of it. I said, well, that's very admirable. I said, Daddy, you have never, ever once, ever, not once. He goes, not ever once.
Not a daiquiri, a white Russian.
Nothing. Not a sip of wine, not a nothing. Not a Tom Collins, not a nothing.
So when Jax was about 12, I guess, we're at the golf course, hole number 8, back then at the country club. And my dad was with us, and probably Teacock.
Yeah.
And so I've got a pretty good drive out there in the middle of the fairway, and which is rare. That's why I remember it. And then I just nut a 3-wood, man. I mean, cranked it. And I wasn't on the green, but right up next to it. And I was like, shot like that deserves a beer. I walk over here and psh. Now it's 100 degrees plus. It's 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July.
And it's 100 plus degree. It's hot. Jax hits his shot, and same thing. He nuts a 3-wood, man. I mean, just straight up and down the pipe, and again, either on the green or right there on the fringe. He said, shot like that deserves a beer. You're right, buddy.
Go ahead and get you one.
Come on over here. I pulled him a beer out and popped the top on it.
And was he 8?
Handed it. No, he was like 12.
12.
Yeah.
About 12.
I handed it to him. He,
Oh, no.
And two big gulps. And
Ooh.
he said, people actually like this stuff? I was like, yeah, it's an acquired taste. He said, I don't want it. You know, so.
I do now. It's pretty good now.
You acquired it.
I acquired it.
Yeah. And that was the same way, you know.
Kind of like coffee.
Jasper J. Sanford Acquired.
Acquired.
Esquire. But
Acquired.
Yeah. So, hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more of Off the Back Porch coming up right after this.
32 years ago, a young Robert Rushing began his life of public service joining the El Dorado Fire Department. While saving lives during the day, Robert Rushing put himself through college and law school at night, eventually opening a law practice in 2010 to protect and serve the rights of people in South Arkansas. By the way, he was still working as a fireman at the time. And after 23 years of service, Robert Rushing answered the call again and was elected as city attorney. Today, Robert Rushing still has that desire to serve. Re-elect Robert Rushing as El Dorado city attorney.
So you guys are just like State Farm, right?
We barely cover boats by the dock.
Why barely?
You get what you pay for. Our bike coverage leaves out a lot.
I don't have a bike.
Can we just get some momentum on the song? Oh, I'm going. There's damage to your home on this block. We won't make things right, cause filing a claim is tough.
Can't I just do it in an app or call an agent?
No luck. Here comes the best part. Whoa! We're halfway there. Whoa! You're living on a prayer. Oh, my butt cheek.
Should have gone with State Farm.
For longer than most of us can remember, Timber Lane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timber Lane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timber Lane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas and even more proud to be displayed on your table.
Anyone can be so curious.
Get ready to see the world more curiously, because Blippi is coming to your hometown. The Be Like Blippi Tour. Join Blippi and Mika live on stage for a one-of-a-kind interactive adventure that inspires kids to move like, play like, and explore just like Blippi. Saturday, April 11th, the First Financial Music Hall in El Dorado. Tickets are on sale now at eldomad.com. Break out your orange Blippi glasses for an unforgettable experience that encourages kids to be like Blippi.
Serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state, ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communication center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. And our special guest this week, Jax Sanford. Thank you again, Jax, for being on the show with us today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Boomer, there were a lot of rules when I was a kid.
yeah.
And for good reason, because I probably would have done all those things I wasn't supposed to. But I thought we would reminisce just a minute and talk about things that were absolutely forbidden when you were a kid.
I mean, like how many years ago you have to go to get this, though? At least 30 or 40?
Well, I mean, I'm 54, so I'd say 40 years.
Yeah.
And there's probably people who are way
Younger
younger than
than
me
that,
that some of these things were still, that they couldn't do. Things that were forbidden when we were kids, going into your parents' bedroom. You didn't even walk in there, much less lay on their bed. And, which is a shame because Daddy's bed was always the most comfortable one. It was always the best.
Did you have to make your bed every morning?
Yes.
I did too.
Yeah.
That's lame.
That is lame. I'm going to be there again in a little bit. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sitting in Daddy's recliner.
Oh, yeah. Daddy had a chair. He didn't have a recliner, but he had a chair.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to sit in it. Even if he's gone out of town for 4 days, he could tell if somebody sat in his chair.
Been sitting in my chair. Mm-hmm. Kind of like that bear.
Things that were forbidden when we were kids. Okay. Letting out a huff or a heavy sigh when you were mad.
Oh, yeah, and definitely don't roll your eyes. Huh, Jax?
That was the next one, rolling your eyes.
Yes,
yeah.
A huff and an eye roll.
Yeah. Yeah, Daddy had a way to fix that.
He'd slap you upside your
You better believe
what's
it.
Crazy is my dad also had a crazy way to fix that.
And we're not going to go into it.
Your dad was bad, man. He was a bad man. Hush your mouth. Just talking about Shaft. Just talking about Sandy. So, this one was absolutely forbidden. Touching the thermostat.
Oh no!
Don't you dare. Don't touch that thermostat.
I'm still like that today. I don't want Martha to touch. I said, baby, she said it's hot in here. I said it's already running.
It doesn't
You can't
do
make it run it any faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain this to you. And this is from someone with the thermodynamics education, okay? I can tell you how this works. Just because it's hot in your house, if the air conditioner is already blowing, turning the thermostat down does not make the air colder. How air conditioners work is it takes the air that's in the room and it drops it by 20 to 25 degrees if it's operating correctly, and that's the air that it blows out. So if it's 100 degrees in the room, then you're looking at about 80 to 75 degree air coming out of the vent until the room begins to cool off. Same thing for your car air conditioner. Now, car air conditioners now have thermostats as well. But if the air conditioner's running, turning it down does not do anything except freeze up an air conditioner.
Yeah, it's trying to work harder.
Yeah, because it's trying to get down to that new temperature you set it at.
And it's slowing down the freon in there.
And the efficiency is gone. And you'll end up with a $600 electric bill and still be hot.
Yeah, because it'll never stop.
It'll never catch up.
Same way with the heat.
Things that were forbidden when we were kids.
Yeah.
Staying in the house.
In the summer?
Anytime,
or
basically.
After school?
Yeah. Anytime, basically. Having an opinion. Kids were meant to be seen and not heard. I think I heard that at least 11 times when I was growing up.
Daddy's saying, if I want your opinion, I'll knock it out of you.
Yeah, I'll shake it out of you. Don't you dare leave on a light when you leave a room. That was a big one. Hey, why's that kitchen light on? Well, Daddy, I was just in there. Exactly, you was just in there. That means you're not in there now, right? Go turn that light off. Well, Daddy, I'm walking back in there. Turn it on when you go back in there. Well, I'm going back in there now. Turn it off.
And turn
it back on. It's the principle.
Like I said.
It's the principle of the matter. Let's see. Things that were absolutely not allowed or were forbidden when we were kids. Being shaky while holding the flashlight for your dad.
Oh,
you want to be called every name there was to be called?
Hold that still.
I think I've still got I'm just kidding.
This one. Sitting in a chair or on the couch when there are adults in the room. First of all, you better let every adult have a place to sit.
Everybody has a place to sit for you.
And if there's not, you sit on the floor. That's right. Listening to adult conversations was not allowed. Now, Daddy didn't have a whole lot of choice with me because he was a single dad.
Yeah.
And so he was wherever he was, I was.
Yeah.
So I heard lots of adult conversations that I probably shouldn't have heard. Things that were forbidden when we were kids, not eating what was on your plate.
Oh, my word. Gosh, and I was such a little patootie when it came to eating.
And Daddy'd say, hey, you can sit there all night.
Yeah.
I know, it doesn't bother me. I'm going to be over here watching TV.
You're going to be sitting there until you eat that.
And you're going to be sitting there till you eat that. That's all it is to it. Guess what?
I'm not hungry anymore. Okay, well, they'll put it up on the counter for you and you get hungry.
Two times in my entire life did Daddy not make me finish what was on my plate.
And that's because something he didn't like.
That's exactly right. He's like, that wasn't very good, was it? No, sir. Can we get a pizza? You just had supper. But Daddy,
it wasn't any good.
I didn't eat it. Well, that's not my fault. That's not my fault.
Did you force Micah to eat that Kelly's chili?
No, I was going to tell that. I did not. And like a good little trooper, man. I mean, I had one time when it was just me and my daughter living here. She was about 8. And I had paid all my bills. I got paid that day. I paid all my bills, and I had $6 to last for the next 2 weeks. And we had 0 food at the house. I mean, there was probably a bottle of mustard and some dill pickles or something in the fridge, but that was it. There was nothing. And so she and I went to, at that time, Big Lots. It's where Hobby Lobby is now, at the mall.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Big Lots. And they had these cans of chili, Kelly's chili, and it had a leprechaun on it. And it's obviously made from leprechaun meat because it was terrible, horrible. So it was like 6 cans for $1. There's your first sign, you know. even 2002, that's not a good sign. But we went and bought that, went home, opened a couple cans of it, put it in a pot. We did have some stale crackers, some saltines at the house, and she and I ate it. There's nothing you could do to it. Man, we put ketchup in it. We put cheese on it. There was nothing you could do. But like a good little trooper, man, she ate her whole bowl. Took her bowl to the sink, washed it out, looked at me and said, Daddy, can we never have that again? It's like, baby, you don't have to worry.
You got 4 more cans of it, though.
Yeah. Well, I think we donated them. They got donated to someone, I'm sure. Or just threw them out of the house to get the curse away.
Yeah.
So
That's a human rights violation.
let's see. Things that were not allowed or were forbidden when we were kids. Getting out of the car while your parents were in the grocery store. Because you
had to stay in the car?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time it was stay in the car.
He was a bad little boy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Have you met Nolan?
Yes. That's Daddy.
Whatever. Whatever. Back then you could just leave your kids in the car.
Yeah.
With the windows rolled up and the doors locked.
Yeah, smoking.
Let's see. Things that were forbidden when we were a kid. Trying to watch television after Dad got home.
Oh, yeah.
You'd forget that. That's
Dad was going to be watching Chet Huntley and David Brinkley or
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
All in the Family or something.
Yeah. I just learned to like whatever Daddy was watching. Saying the word what after your name was called. So the third worst whooping I ever got in my life
Was over what?
I was in the laundry room in the back of the house, and Daddy's at the front of the house. Said, Sandy, what? He never said another word. I just saw him walk through the dining room, through the kitchen, into the laundry room, and unsheath that belt, and he went to correcting my grammar.
Say what? Come on.
Say what? One more time. One more again. Say it. I dare you.
Is what a country?
From that day forward, even up to the point when he died, if he said my name, I was like, sir. Did not say the word what. Things that were forbidden when we were kids. Opening the refrigerator for more than 8 seconds.
Mm-hmm. What do you need? What do you need?
You should have known what was in there ahead of time. How about this one? Do I need to take a picture and put it on the outside so you know what's in there?
I was just thinking about that joke from Everybody Hates Chris and how Julius would take pictures of the fridge and then put it on
Would he really?
Yes,
I didn't remember that.
And Everybody Hates Chris. And I also watch way too many Everybody Hates Chris clips
Great
on TikTok.
Show,
but yeah, no. And I grew up watching it, and yeah, that was one of the funny jokes that they'd use sometimes was Julius taking pictures of the fridge.
Daddy actually threatened one time to buy a chain and put a padlock around it. So
I was opening it too much, Sandy.
I guess so. Things that were forbidden when we were kids. Treating the screen door, front door, or your bedroom door like it was made out of anything other than the most paper-thin, fragile, antique glass. Don't you slam that door. That screen door, that thing got a spring on it heavy enough I could swing back on it, but don't you let it slam.
Yeah, you got to let it close.
You got to throw your arm in there and get a big old bruise across your arm to keep it from slamming.
Oh, my. I'd forgotten about all these things.
Yeah.
Be upset, bust out the door, and then be like, oh, wait.
Be mad and go outside, and that door swings way out there, and you're like, oh, no. And coming back in slow motion. Let's see. Things that were forbidden when we were kids. Sitting on the furniture any way that was not normal, like the arm of the couch.
Or don't put your dad, I don't know about the knee in the furniture. Kids, when they sit down, they put their knee in it first.
I do that.
I do that now.
Yeah.
In my chair.
I'm pretty much always got one leg crisscross applesauce. I've got one leg tucked up pretty much at all times.
Yeah, all the time. So you put your knee in it too.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, by the way, when we were in school, when you sat down like that, you were sitting Indian style. Mm-hmm. When he got to school, it was crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
So I just always thought that was one of those things that transpired with time. Things that were forbidden when we were kids. Calling an aunt or an uncle by their first name without the title in front of it.
Yeah.
So my Aunt Edith, who's my dad's only living sibling, she is still Aunt Edith to this day.
Sure.
Uncle Urban, who was my Aunt Sue's husband, but they divorced. And even 25 years after they divorced, I ran into him one day in Center, Texas. Casey and I were there, and we stopped at Golden Corral to go eat. Mm-hmm. You know, you and I've been there. Mm-hmm. That Golden Corral. Mm-hmm. So anyway,
y'all just don't know what these folks done do to me.
So anyway, we stopped there, and Uncle Urban was there. And so I introduced him to Casey, and I introduced her to my Uncle Urban. And he said, "You still call me that?" And I was like, "You'll always be my Uncle Urban."
Yeah, he's still my uncle.
You know, it's still, you know, even though it was by marriage and that marriage dissolved 25 plus years earlier, didn't matter to me. He was still Uncle Urban. And I spoke at his memorial. They didn't really have a funeral, but a memorial, and called him Uncle Urban then. Things that were forbidden when we were kids: leaving the table without permission.
Oh gosh, yeah, everybody sat at the table.
And that's one that's come back at my house.
Yeah,
don't get up from that table.
Yeah,
if we're all in there sitting down,
eat as a family. And
don't get up from the table until you ask, because that little 6-year-old, if you don't stop him, he'll run into the living room and you're like, what is he doing? He went to watch a piece of that cartoon that he had paused on Netflix or Amazon or any other channels that
watch a little bit of
any other channels that he subscribes to.
Yeah,
well, I just wanted to watch it while I was chewing.
Exactly, that's what he'll say. What are you doing? Well, I came in here to watch this. We're eating supper. Well, I was just chewing. They don't require me sitting there to chew.
Oh, he's too smart for his own good.
It depends on what the definition of is.
Is.
Yeah. You know, so
I did not.
We'll say this one time. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Yeah.
In fact, I did. See, what I meant to say is I'm 53, she's 26. What do you think?
I wasn't hiding it from the world. I was hiding it from my wife.
That's right.
Oh my word.
Yeah. Y'all seen Hillary? Y'all know.
Pumpkin legs.
Yeah. Cankles. All right, let's see. Things that were forbidden. The final one when we were kids. Eating anything in the kitchen cabinets or refrigerator. That stuff was measured out specifically for every future meal. Don't you dare take that orange and eat that. Don't you eat that banana.
Without permissions?
Yeah, don't you dare. And I know that bread's been sitting on top of the refrigerator for a week, but don't eat it.
I was going to make bread pudding.
Whatever.
Here's what happens at mine now. Is this catering food or is this eating food?
Oh, yeah, you got to ask that.
Because I came in today and there were some little mini chocolate cake muffins, they call them. And then she makes a chocolate frosting and puts on them. And it's just like a little mini cake. There were 6 of them. And I said, something's about to go down here. So I asked her, I said, what are those on the counter? She goes, I'm just going to make some frosting for those to go on the top. I said, well, there's 6 of them. She goes, well, I only need 4. I went,
that's all I needed to hear.
She said, I only need 4.
Yeah, that makes it pretty simple.
Yeah, I can count to 6.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
Experience, courage, common sense. All of these are traits we want in any elected position, but especially in the man we will pick as our next sheriff. Michael Fife hasn't just been in law enforcement for 30 plus years. He's the one who answers the call in the middle of the night, putting himself last and Union County first, looking folks in the eye, doing what's right, standing up for all of us. Vote for Michael Fife for Union County Sheriff.
Country Village Sporting Goods has a little bit of everything you need to get you to the water, the woods, or to the camp. Coming soon, a new shipment of creek boats. Every year we sell out fast. Get yours ordered today. It seems like we're always unboxing the latest and greatest in lures and tackle. Come check out new colors, new styles, and the latest technology making rods lighter and reels easier to cast. Cruise through our vast selection of camo clothing, coveralls, overalls, boots, outerwear, and more. All at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
Everybody loves a parade, and Hilarious Pizza throws parades all week long. Bring the family in for your favorites, or explore the variety that Hilarious Pizza offers. Come join us at Hilarious Pizza for the greatest parade ever.
New year, new you? Help your resolution with our friends at Davis Farms Country Market. Make family meals a priority this year with the new take and bake side dishes like potato casseroles. Pack lunches with fresh boar's head, sliced deli meats, or cheeses. Make dinners great again with true farm-to-table fresh ingredients from Davis Farms Country Market. 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer, and our guest this week, our general sales manager for South Arkansas now, Jax Sanford. And Jax, thank you for being on the show. Boomer, I want to talk about wild turkey.
The drink?
Well, you would think so, but no.
Okay.
So, residents of a southern Wisconsin town of Janesville have been dealing with an unusual group of local ruffians, a flock of aggressive wild turkeys. Turkeys chased down a postal worker, chasing him all the way back to his post office truck, and an 8-year-old boy who was trying to cross the street to go to school. The turkeys wouldn't let him. The turkeys ran him back.
Are these wild turkeys?
Yeah. They've become a nuisance. They block traffic. They've even caused traffic accidents.
I think I've seen some videos on this.
So Jason Cotter, Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources wildlife biologist, said turkeys tend to flock together during the winter, but it's not common for them to be aggressive. He recommended residents take steps to make themselves appear larger, such as carrying an umbrella.
These are the traffic control turkeys.
Yeah. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources said it's consulting with USDA Wildlife Services to come up with a plan to resolve the Janesville situation. Officials said the birds might end up needing to be relocated.
Sure, I can relocate.
To a fryer.
I can relocate.
That's what I'm saying. This is the problem with living in the north.
It is.
This only happens in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You don't ever hear about this stuff happening in Arkansas or Alabama or Texas or Georgia or Louisiana.
We'd be having a turkey fry.
Yeah. I wish 8 turkeys would come after me. I've been waiting for 8 turkeys to chase me down.
Yeah. That would not happen in the...
May have to relocate them. Yeah, that's fine.
In the south.
To the freezer.
Yeah, we're going to relocate them too. So what y'all need to do is y'all need to call one Bubba or one Boudreaux or something.
Mm-hmm. The Cajun Navy.
He'll fix it. They'll fix it. Don't worry. Mm. You know, they said, that's what they said back during the first Iraq war back in 1990, 91. They said, you know, I was over so quick. They took a bunch of Cajuns over there and said, you see all them Iraqis? They illegal and they taste like hoot owl. Let's see. Talking about animals attacking, I did not know this. I read this today. Napoleon Bonaparte, the great general or colonel,
Conqueror.
I think. Yeah, the great conqueror, was once attacked and defeated by a
swan,
a gaggle of rabbits.
Rabbits?
Yeah, I don't know what you call a group of rabbits, a herd, a wren.
I don't know what you call them. They call them, they're bucks and does. So
yeah, I don't know. A herd maybe, whatever. Okay. But he was on a hunt and was attacked by a group of rabbits and had to retreat.
Some rabid rabbits.
So before Waterloo, he found Moneyloo. That was bad.
That's a long way to get to that joke.
Well, I mean, that part was true, though, about the whole... the joke just came to me. You could tell it wasn't a whole lot of prep putting that joke. Also...
Kind of like the two I had last week. Disparaging whole people.
Racial jokes. Hey, let's tell racial jokes. No, Boomer, we're not. How about that? How about we don't?
So Sandy says, if you got to ask... The answer's probably no.
I mean, if you have to ask, it's okay.
If you have to run it through your brain and then run it through someone el's brain, the probably
chances are.
Okay,
but a preacher.
No.
But a rabbi priest. Also, because I was already on this kick now of learning something I didn't know about Napoleon, also didn't know this. Pirates wore eye patches not because they had an eye put out.
Why?
It helped them adjust when they were going from bright to dark. They had one eye. They could flip that patch open because they were hiding stuff in caves and they were sleeping in caves. And, you don't want to be in there and 30 seconds later you figure out there's a bear in it.
And your eyes aren't adjusted to the dark yet.
Or a big mamba or, something in there. So that's why and then also out on the water, obviously the sun, that supposedly would help them be able to focus across the water better. Also, most pirate ships were run by election. They elected the head pirate or the captain, and they split treasure equally. And walking the plank was not a real punishment. The most severe punishment on a pirate ship was marooning. So you're an unruly member of the crew, they'd pull up to an island and throw your butt out and go away and leave.
Wow.
And that was your punishment.
And they never came back.
And they never came back, right. You just had to hope for another pirate ship to come along. Or
throw somebody else on.
Yeah, something.
Have a buddy.
Yeah, so... Boomer, I call this next story "Pride Goeth Before Destruction."
Okay.
So, it's a great piece of advice out of the book of Proverbs. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Quoting the Bible again.
Yeah, quoting the Bible, like that old book.
Yeah.
Why don't you quote War and Peace? So, a New Jersey man who was upset about a traffic ticket led officers on a wild chase, then called police to brag about the fact that he eluded them.
Oh, no.
East Rutherford police ticketed 38-year-old man on January the 28th. He called the police department's general phone number the next day, upset about the ticket, according to police captain Jeff Yannickon. He said that some of the comments the man made while he was calling concerned officers, so they then sent some officers by his house to check on him. Well, the man was sitting in his car when the cops pulled up, and he decided, nope, don't want to talk to them. So he takes off in his car. He runs a stop sign, improperly passed another vehicle, almost collided with another one. Police terminated the chase. Why? Because they know who he is.
Yeah.
So we'll get you. It's fine.
You got to come back home eventually.
So they terminate the chase. Well, he thought he outran the cops.
Okay. He went back home.
Other than that one Charger in Little Rock, how many people have you ever known to outrun the cops? And I think Charger finally got caught, by the way.
Did he?
Uh-huh.
No, they've
got helicopters, satellites,
radio,
pit maneuvers.
Radio head. Yeah, and that's in Arkansas State Police is one of the few states where you can do a pit maneuver,
and we lead the nation in it.
And them troopers are kind of like we're talking about them turkeys. Them troopers just hope you run.
They're trying to, they practice it so they won't put it into use.
Put it into use.
And they've come out with those nets that they'll attach to the bumper bars at the front of state trooper vehicles.
They'll Batman a net across your butt.
Swing a net across.
Yeah, you'll have a net around the tire, and you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's over at that point.
It's a drag net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Throw that joker in park, and it's just about.
And then it does. What are you going to do now?
Yeah.
And of course, they also, they have EMPs and stuff. They can shoot off the front of that vehicle and disable your entire vehicle. And that's if they don't call OnStar. Say, hey, I'm chasing the Chevrolet here. Is that thing got OnStar? Yeah. Cut it off.
Shut it off. Yeah. give them the license plate, and they'll know.
Most of the time they can figure it out. They'll, now wouldn't that suck if they said Alabama, or for example, so here's my favorite. People, I'm talking to them on the phone, and they see the address and AR, and they say, oh, so you're in Arizona. No.
AZ.
I'm in Arkansas. AR, Arkansas. I thought that was Arizona. Well, what's Arkansas? I thought it was AK. That's Alaska.
How about AL? That's Alabama.
That's Alabama. Guess again. So, but wouldn't it suck if that cop doesn't know? Like, Arkansas plate, blah blah blah, and then you're just driving down the road normal one day
in Arizona, or vice versa.
Yeah. What just happened?
You got OnStar.
You got
OnStar.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. I was just fixating. One of the funniest OnStar videos I've ever seen was a Cajun, and he calls OnStar, and he wants them to tell him how to get to Boots. And they're like, I'm sorry, where? Boots.
Boots.
And so finally, can you spell it? And he's like, yeah. BOOTH, comma to the top, S. Boots. And they're like, okay, boots. Wah.
Yeah, wah. He goes, what?
And they're like, wah. What? Wah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, real Cajuns, that's how they say yes, is wah. Mm-hmm. And boots, T, comma to the top, S.
Yes, that's the best ever.
Yeah. So, yeah, those.
Comma to the top.
Do what?
Comma to the top.
Comma to the top. That's right. What? Well, Boomer, would they tell you when you were growing up? Troy, Mike, y'all learning the multiplication and then you go zentas?
And you go zentas.
That's division.
And you learn your days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, Friday.
So you can any of my 4 daughters, you can ask them the Cajun days of the week, and they'll all repeat them.
Yeah. Again, his oldest, Amanda, she and I used to just laugh. We were in the car one time going somewhere on sales call or whatever, and he had done this commercial for a dog breeder or whatever, and they had some what were those dogs called? Bichon what?
Bichon Frise.
Bichon Frise. But he really heavy caged it up when he said it. And she's sitting over in the passenger seat. And she's like, "Hey, here it is." And she like turns it up so we could laugh at it again.
Like he's really pronouncing it like a Frenchman.
Yeah. She said, "His Cajun ass."
Well, there are some Cajun things that translate pretty oddly.
A lot of them.
Well, a lot of them. The way they say it in French and they translate it to English, they'll say, "Y'all come by and get down."
Mm-hmm.
Get down. Come in.
Yeah.
Or make a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make a pass over by Sandy's. We're going to go by Sandy's. We're going to make grocery.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pick up the zinc.
Pick up the zinc.
And that's just a mispronunciation. They're doing zinc, and they heard of the element zinc.
But my favorite is everything is pass. I'm gonna pass a mop.
Yeah, we're gonna pass a mop.
Pass a slap.
Yeah,
and and of course, and then all the little names. So if they say, "Well, little T-Jax come by earlier," well, they wouldn't say little. They just say T-Jax come by earlier. And it's like,
yeah.
What?
Little Jax.
Little Jax, yeah. And
or they call you a T garçon. That's a little man.
Yeah.
A T noon.
And cabron.
Cabron's a goat.
Goat, yeah. Kid.
But that's Spanish.
Well, but Cajuns use that word for they'll say that for a kid, a cabron, and sha.
Sha, yeah. My grandmother called me Sha. I don't think she knew my name.
Yeah. She also didn't speak English either, did she?
No, she didn't. Well, I mean, she learned it, but yeah.
And then again, God, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just exclamation. You've heard all these.
Yeah, he grew up in my house.
Yeah.
So he's been to Uncle Mason's.
Yeah.
I sure have.
Uncle Mason and J-Al.
Yeah, J-Al.
It's J-L, but it's pronounced J-Al.
So, and just pure Southern accents don't translate very well to other parts of the country.
Oh,
And I had a wonderful story told to me this morning by Amanda. We were talking on the phone, and by the way, she said where she lives in Minnesota now, she said they may not be able to live there much longer. I said, what is this, the second winter you've been up there? I said, well, Shane has got some things going on that require him not to be in cold weather. Anyway, she was telling me that Shane is her husband, works with the school system, and when he was here in Arkansas, worked with severe profound children, and he said there would be 1 to 6. You might have 6 children that you're working with, different classrooms. He said up there, you might have 1 to 1 is all you'd get. And he says, but he had this young man, I don't remember the name, she told me, we'll just go Will. And he said the first day he met Will just was attached to him. He could not, he followed him everywhere. And he said it was Friday and the weekend.
Don't move that back.
Friday, it came to the weekend, and he came back Monday, and Will would have nothing to do with him.
Okay.
And so, he's going to other teachers. He's asking other teachers. Said, well, Will was really put off or put back or confused by your Southern accent. He said, oh, I get it. I got it. He says, well.
Shane's not that pronounced.
I know.
Around here sounds normal.
And so, the teacher said, well, he actually thinks that you're an alien. He said, well, why does he think I'm an alien? He says, because you called him friend. He said, I don't even know him. I don't know his parents. He doesn't know me, but he called me friend. And she's trying to explain to him, says, well, Will, people in the South, they may not remember your name, but they'll call you a nice name, you're my friend or buddy or bud or something
Pal.
like pal, something. They'll just use an exclamation to talk to you like that. And he said, oh, okay. He said, so we're just way different talking, aren't we? She goes, yeah, that's it. So he decided he was going to reacquaint himself with Shane. So he comes over here and goes, Mr. Shane.
I want to keep this very formal.
Do you know about snowmobiling? So you know how we get with someone that doesn't speak our language, we just figure if you talk
Say
slower and louder, that they'll understand you. So,
You know, when I went to Palm Springs, California for a conference that I got to present some research at, and I was talking to a professor from Oregon and Washington and, just
wherever.
Yeah, those
one of them flannel wearing liberal states.
Yeah, one of those West Coast universities, and explaining my research to them. They were just kind of standing there and listening and just kind of looking at me almost dumbfounded. And finally I asked, I was like, do y'all have any questions? I mean, just like, do y'all have any questions? And they just...
Y'all, what now?
They just looked at me and they said, this is really good research. You're from Arkansas? And I was just like, yeah, I am from Arkansas. And do you have any questions about my research? How did y'all have the resources to do this? And I'm just sitting there like,
here we go. And before anyone asks, no, I'm not married to my sister. We've been divorced 3 years.
Exactly. And I had to rent this pair of shoes, but
yeah,
we do have them.
Uncle Daddy, yeah.
So,
oh my word,
yeah.
And we could just go on and on about that.
How many times did your school get called Washita?
Washita?
Yeah,
Shoot.
forever.
Washita Baptist University.
I still hear videos and clips pop up from people in the news or whatever who have no idea that it's Washita.
Yeah.
So
Washita.
Here's the funny part. I saw a TikTok the other day of a Monroe, Louisiana sports station, and this was several years ago, but it was showing a play that happened on Washita football field, and the sports announcer called them Washita. And I'm thinking, you're in Washita Parish with the Washita River, and you just called it Washita.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
There have been people on the news, on the network in Monroe, mispronouncing Texarkana and Louisville it's
Nevada County
and
Lafayette County. And
well, if you go to Lebanon, Tennessee, and say Lebanon, Tennessee, you will be ostracized out of the town quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worse than how El Dorado people are about El Dorado.
Yeah. Well, we know as soon as you say El Dorado, we know you don't know.
We know you're not from around here.
You don't know.
Yeah, it just means you're uneducated.
Yeah, it does. It automatically.
But no, you walk into Lebanon, Tennessee, and say Lebanon. Oh boy, they get upset.
Well, there's a place in Oklahoma, a little town named Berlin.
Well, that's not Berlin.
Berlin.
Yeah.
I live in Berlin. Well, it's like Searcy up here.
Yeah.
Searcy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, don't even start me on Texas.
Yeah, there's all kind in Texas.
So REFUGIO.
Refugio.
You would think. Refugio. It's got an extra R in there. It doesn't have a silent R; it has an invisible R and a silent G. Refugio.
I love the guy that does all the things about the English language and he's a Laimi or a Australian.
Yeah.
The redheaded guy. He uses a lot of explicatives, but it's hilarious about all the letters that we put in words that don't need to be there.
So there's actually a guy that I follow on TikTok, and his and I core beliefs definitely just don't match up in any way, shape, or form. However, he does do a really good job of breaking down the origin of words in the English language. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm just a nerd, and I love knowing the origin behind a word and how it got to be from this Greek word and how it combined with Latin.
Yeah.
And for example, is a multitude of octopus. Is that going to be octopuses or octopi?
Octopi.
What do you think?
I would have thought octopi.
So you would think. However, octopus actually is a Greek word,
so
it's octopuses.
It doesn't.
Both flow fine grammatically, and they're fine because
it worked well.
This is English. It comes from both Greek and Latin, and so they're both accepted on a grammatical level.
And it worked well in that Beatles song.
Yeah. The origin is actually octopuses because it's Greek.
Because you couldn't sing an octopi garden.
I don't know the song you're talking about.
Yellow Submarine.
Oh, well.
The Beatles?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Yeah. Those little bugs.
Yeah.
The boys from
There's
Liverpool.
a movie, and I don't remember the name of it, but there's a movie about a guy who wakes up like in an alternate universe, and they've never heard of the Beatles, and none of their songs.
I loved it. I watched that movie, and he was an Indian guy.
So like he sings "I Want to Hold Your Hand," and the world just thinks he's the greatest rock star ever. And and he goes through the whole progression of the Beatles, from the 60s when they got here in '63, and then on up into the real
Ravi Shankar
drug
fueled
induced
days.
Yeah, and the juju eyeballs,
and he tried to come clean, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, it was just so. I don't remember the name of that movie, but it was funny.
If I was going to go back in time and be on one band's tour bus, I mean, as far as being like not being concerned about my health, just being on one for fun, I don't know, man. I feel like being with Ozzy. I feel like that Ozzy or Willie.
I'm not sure you can survive either.
Yeah. I mean, I said I'm not worried about health. I'm worried about having fun.
Yeah.
For a minute, anyway.
Yeah. Hey, there's pleasure in sin for a season. That's the rest of that verse. Quoting the Bible again.
Yeah.
That's actually out of War and Peace.
Animal Farm.
I just can't imagine what those days were like for Motley Crue, for example. Guns N' Roses. Although I'm going to say this, I've seen stuff on some of them Southern gospel groups tour buses that would make rock stars blush. So,
truth hurts.
Two guys got off of a Southern gospel group's tour bus one time. They didn't know I was standing there, and it was like, "You really snorted a whole line off of them strippers' titties?"
Wow!
Just then.
Wow!
Yeah.
And then they go in
to sing.
How great
thou. You want to know why I can hit them high notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, talking about there's a guy from England, London, UK, somewhere over there, that lives in Texas, and he has a TikTok channel, and he's all the time talking about, I just effing love Texas. You hear me? I just love it.
Yeah.
And man, he's all the time talking about. So yesterday I had something called a brisket. It's the best stuff. You've never had anything this good. You know? And
he's Australian.
No, well, I mean, that's my accent. It's terrible, but.
No, but I'm saying I'm pretty sure the guy you're talking about is
no,
Australian.
because I think he says Londoner. I think his Londoner in Texas or something is the name of his TikTok channel.
Because I watched a video the other day of this guy who's an Aussie and he lives in Texas, and he was talking about, guys, you're never gonna believe how good the brisket, ribs, sausage.
Yeah,
and there's two guys that are limeys that all over Louisiana.
They came over. They were
Houma
hilarious.
in New Orleans,
and it was so fun to watch it. Man, I don't know how do guys eat like that though? Do you see all the stuff they eat?
Yeah, a lot.
And I'm like, how do you do that, man? I think
maybe once a week they do it.
I can't. I can't eat like that because man, those guys. They went to a Cajun restaurant and they had, for the appetizer, of course, they had red beans and rice and soft shell crab, which God, it makes me want some soft shell crab every time I see them. Some soft shell crab, and then and this, and then some boudin, and this came out, and that, and I'm like, how do y'all eat all that?
Yeah, they do eat a lot.
And then they went to Texas too, and they did the whole barbecue circuit, and they didn't go to. They were in Austin.
They didn't go out to.
I'm trying to
eat the big Texas steak that you had to eat
in Amarillo,
64 ounce or
72, whatever it is. Yeah,
you seen the young girl, the little girl that goes and does eating stuff?
I have.
I mean, she's like a physical fitness guru type person. That's body type, and they'll sit her down and she'll she went and ate that 72-ounce steak. You got to eat the potato and all the
and the salad,
and rolls and the drink all the tea. And she did it.
Yeah.
I can't usually finish some rolls and a steak
baked
at
potato
a
and 12-ounce steak.
Yeah, a 12-ounce steak at Texas Roadhouse. I mean, I couldn't imagine 72 ounces of steak. I mean, y'all
That's
need
a
one
roast.
y'all need one of them forklifts, cranes.
Cranes to get you
y'all
out
gonna have to come get me.
Let me tell you what we've done. Good friends of ours, Steve and Melanie Elkins, that live at the end of Iron Mountain Road, and they raise cattle, and they sell. You can get a calf in the spring, and so obviously everything's smaller when you get a strip or a ribeye or a T-bone. They're all smaller, and so we love them.
They're tender.
Well, but I mean they're smaller, so you're not getting a 14-ounce ribeye. You're getting an 8-ounce ribeye. So yeah, I'll send y'all a bill for that.
Yeah,
I'm out sitting here just watering.
Yeah, it's all about steaks.
I've got a cow on order.
Do you? Mm-hmm. You got a guy though.
Yeah, Ricky Davis.
Yeah,
Davis Farms Country Market.
Yeah,
I've got a half cow on order
Out on Junction City Highway.
Yeah, 4523 Junction City Highway.
That's right.
And proud sponsor of Off the Back Porch in South Arkansas now.
and a fine guy.
A super guy.
I've known Ricky for a long time.
Super guy.
Yeah.
And we went to. I don't know. It's probably been a few weeks ago. We drove by his house and it was all lit up and pretty. And I was like, "There's my buddy Ricky." So, I wonder which one of them cows I'm gonna be eating.
One of them black ones.
Yeah, one of them black ones he has out there. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll have more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
For over 6 decades, Glenn Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations, family-owned and operated since 1956. Glenn Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlennMechanical.com.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
When it comes to your family's financial future, peace of mind matters. At Harrison Financial Management, they are right here to help you plan, grow, and protect what matters most. Whether you're planning for retirement, investing wisely, or securing your family's future, they will guide you every step of the way. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill, serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer and our special guest this week, Jax Sanford. Jax, thanks for being here with us. Boomer.
And Jax.
Yeah, and me.
He just used to say it.
Have you ever...
No.
Never?
Never once.
Well, we heard about you. We heard that you had a couple times in high school at camp.
That whole summer of love.
Yeah. In 1998, there was a company, let's see. Oh, it was Gallup USA Today. They did a poll.
They did the poll, Gallup poll.
In 1998, asking people what did they think was going to happen in the year 2025. So it was 27 years later. Mm-hmm. It'd be like coming to us today and saying, what do you think is going to happen in the year 2053? Mm-hmm. Okay, who knows? Mm-hmm. So in 1998, You got to remember, Bill Clinton was facing impeachment charges. Titanic was cleaning up at the Oscars.
Wow.
And most households in America had landlines.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right. Gallup and USA Today polled 1,055 Americans and asked them for their best predictions about a year in the distant future, 2025. Some were surprisingly correct. Most Americans predicted that in the next 25 years, the country would have elected a black president, gay marriage would be legal and common, and a new deadly disease would emerge. Other predictions didn't hold up as well. About 2/3 of the Americans thought we would have elected a female president by now. More than half expected a cure for cancer. And 61% expected people would routinely live to be 100 years old. And then there were a number of them, like space travel was going to be a common thing by the year 2025, which, I mean, it's not common, but, you know, you had them 5 women they took up in space and brought them back down. And I can't remember which one it was, but one of them, you know, she's
from The View.
Yeah, she's talking about, you know, just what a great accomplishment. That was not an accomplishment.
No,
Were you flying the rocket?
You got up there and felt weightless for a couple of minutes.
Did you land the pod when y'all came back? Then what you did, you were a passenger.
Yeah.
Now, I realize if a crime had taken place out of that thing, you're just as guilty as the driver. But in the meantime, you're just a passenger. There was nothing brave about what you did. You took a free ride.
Well, it's The View.
Yeah. So, I mean,
well, what would
that'd be
you
like
think?
That'd be like getting off of an airplane in Washington D.C. and saying, "That was a brave thing I just did." Which actually, flying in and out of Reagan is pretty brave.
Could be brave.
That's not the easiest place to fly in and out of.
If you're a helicopter.
Do what?
If you're a helicopter.
Oh, wow. You don't want to be a helicopter there for sure.
Isn't that where the helicopter was flying and hit a plane?
Mm-hmm. It was. Yeah.
Was it coming out of Reagan?
I don't remember where it was coming out of,
but it was in D.C. area.
Yeah, it was D.C. area. But I know this, that there's no airspace over D.C. So when you get ready to land, basically they just have to drop straight out of the air.
Drop you out of the sky.
Now, I know very little about anything and even less about flying. Okay. I've never had the desire to have a plane or to fly a plane. I like the ground too much. And I don't want to be introduced to it suddenly, you know. But anyway, I know enough that I know when they pull the flaps out, maybe it's just because I heard it in movies, but when they pull the flaps out, you're slowing down.
Yeah.
We're at 32,000 feet and I hear them let the flaps out. And I'm like, okay.
Hold up.
Why are we slow? They ain't a parking spot. Why are we slowing down at 32,000 feet? Did we go too fast? I mean, is there a cop behind us? I mean, why are we slowing down? We ain't gonna pull over.
Shouldn't we slow down like somewhere below 32? Maybe 15 or so?
So I had spotted the air marshal like as soon as I got on the plane. It was not hard for me. I spotted him. And so I was just watching him. And as long as he's not nervous, I wasn't nervous. Now, if he would have went, did one of those got big-eyed and started looking around, then I'd be like, we're all fixing to die.
Whoa.
Everybody's fixing to go down.
Can y'all let me out real quick?
Yeah. You're going to get out one way or another. End over end in a field. You know, I look out the window and I'm seeing nothing but Appalachian Mountains, and I'm like, Lord, you couldn't have killed me in El Dorado. You had to bring me all the way here.
They got to come get me now.
And so next thing I know, Bubba pulls the handle forward, and this thing goes like a nosedive, man. I mean, it's going straight down. And again, flight attendants aren't nervous. Air marshal's not nervous. So I'm like, I guess it's supposed to be this way.
That's how it happens.
And man, I don't know. It felt like we fell for an hour and a half. It felt like forever. And then I'm looking out that window. I'm like, man, that ground's getting close. I'm just telling y'all, the ground's getting close. I don't know what that means. Maybe it don't concern y'all, but it's starting to concern me just a little. And then he pulls up and evens out, and we're like 300 feet off the ground. And Boomer, I promise you, we flew for 8, 9, 10 minutes at 300 feet off the ground and like 400 miles an hour.
You had to get under everything.
But you got to get under it because there's no airspace. And so, I mean, we fly over the Potomac, and I can see fish in the water. I can see boats with people in them on the Potomac. And I hear the landing gear let out. Well, it's not like you can poke your head around and see out front. I'm just trusting there's the runway there. He's let the landing gear out. And I mean, that water's getting close. And it's just like, as soon as that water ends,
yep,
we touch down.
You're right there.
So
I've been there.
So that's all good and fine. I did not think about what it would be like taking off. You don't start off at 7 or 8 miles, 10 miles at 300 feet and then go up. You start off going up. And got on that airplane, and they backed us up to the back of the runway, and Bubba popped the clutch, and away we went, man. This thing was rocking like a Pentecostal camp meeting. It just... And I'm sitting at the back plane looking up. I can see the door in front of me.
It's at a 45.
And it's up. And I'm thinking, this is what space shuttle pilots feel like. I mean, look how brave I'm being. Yeah. So, man, we go up. I know we climbed, 20,000 feet or so. And then he hangs a hard left, and we fell like 10,000 in that turn. And then lifts us back up again. And then we got to Cincinnati. I changed planes, and that's why you should never listen to flight attendants before you get on the plane when they're having a private conversation. Because I heard one of them say to the other one, I think today's our pilot's first flight. And I know I'm going to get cards and letters. Just address them to me, Boomer, and send those cards and letters in, because I was even more nervous when the pilot came on and it was a female. And she's like, my name is so-and-so. I'm your pilot today.
Angela.
But let me just tell you this. Old girl could fly a plane.
She knew what she was doing.
She did. So at one point she comes on, she says, okay, so up ahead of us, there's a thunderstorm, and we're going to climb up above it. Matter of fact, we're going to climb to about 54,000 feet. And she said, and you're going to hear me let back on the jets, because at that altitude, we don't really need them.
You could just fly.
And I'm thinking, whatever you do, don't cut them off.
Yeah, let them keep running.
Just in case they don't start back up,
Yeah.
But she's going to cut back on them a little bit. And I was like, okay. And she said, it's about 8 minutes. We're going to rise above that cloud. It's going to take us about 12 minutes to get across, and we're going to come back down. And I mean, like, I wore a watch back then, and I mean, like 8 minutes I feel it start going up, and we get up there. Now, again, this thing's rocking like Elvis on a stage. I mean, it's getting it. And we're up there, and you hear her let back on the engine some, and we're through the sky, and then we come back down, and you hear go back into the engines again. And then we get to Little Rock, and we had to circle for like an hour because it's raining so hard you can't see the runway. And which better than one of the guys that was on that trip with me. He flew back. He was going to St. Louis when he left DC, so he flew to Chicago, but not O'Hare, one of the other airports in Chicago. And they were going in at night, and he said they're coming in on the approach and just about to land. He said all of a sudden that plane rears back, and he said it starts ascending, and you hear the jets full blast. And he's like, okay.
Go around.
What was that? And so the pilot comes on and says, sorry, folks, there was a cow in the runway. I would prefer you miss the cow.
Yeah.
When I flew to Panama City Beach and you picked me up at the airport.
Yeah.
I've flown on planes.
Yeah.
Something I've kind of gotten used to a little bit. But when we flew from Atlanta to Panama City, we went from being on a big old plane to a little bitty jet. And I didn't really think much of it. I mean, it was just 2 seats on either side of the aisle, and it was little and only had about, I think, like 16 total seats or something like that. I got in my seat. It was open seating. There was several seats open. But we go to take off, and I ain't never took off in a jet before until this point. And it is
not the little jets.
Yeah, it is different because you definitely feel the G-forces a little bit more. And you feel every little bit of turbulence that comes across on that little bitty jet. And at this point, I had worked the night before and drove straight to Little Rock to catch my flight. And so at this point, I'm like 22, 23 hours without sleep. I get an Uber to pick me up at the airport, and then actually they come and pick me up from a restaurant. And by the time they get there, I've been awake for like 26 hours and went through this experience with this jet and just not being very comfortable and sleep deprived. And I could not wait just to get 2 minutes of closing my eyes and not feeling scared.
Yeah.
I'm in Florida. I'm tired. I really want to sleep, but I'm in a public space. I've got my luggage with me.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting on my parents to pick me up. Just come on, show up so I can sleep.
Man, I'm in the smaller jets are a little bit more, not a little bit. There's, if you're apprehensive, they're a little bit more scary than just a big jet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
I've experienced that too.
I'm apprehensive.
Yeah.
Again, I've got stuff to live for. So it's like Ron White telling a joke, said he was on this plane and said they were having mechanical trouble. And he said the guy next to him was freaking out because evidently he had something to live for. So, how far are you thinking to make it? He said, all the way to the crash site. We'll beat the ambulance there by 15 minutes.
So we lived in Oklahoma, and Mom and Dad were on the charter members of the new church in Morgan City, and they were going to have their note burning. They had paid off the church.
Nice.
So Mom and Dad, they invited them back and wanted them to come back to Morgan City for the note burning to the church. So we're living in Elk City, Oklahoma, and my brother's got access friends, that have some big jets. So we flew a Cessna Citation from Elk City, Oklahoma to Morgan City, Louisiana, which is probably maybe 1,000 miles nautical. Maybe not that
Shouldn't
much.
be that far.
Like 500 or 600 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds close.
So I'm asleep. And we start descending in Morgan City, and it's one of those like you described. I mean, we're coming down out of the ionosphere. And I said, what is going on when I woke up? Because I had a hellacious headache from sinuses not clearing and everything.
Oh,
and they were coming out of a big thunderstorm that they were circled and tried to come down underneath. And they put it down in a hurry. And that hurt, man. I was scared and hurting. So, yeah.
And talk about sinuses not clearing up. I actually had some sinus pressure build up so bad a couple of weeks ago that it actually ruptured my eardrum.
Did it really?
No, it actually did. And I went to the doctor earlier this week just for my normal checkup. I wasn't going for my ear hurting.
Yeah.
And so I just went for my normal checkup that I do every 3 months with my doctor. And I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I had some pressure build up in my ear, and then I could feel air coming out of my ear, and it hurts. Am I okay? Am I going to live? And he looked in there. He said, oh, yeah, it's definitely ruptured. It'll heal on its own.
Yeah.
And then later that day, like the goofus I am, I blew my nose.
Yeah. I was just looking here. Morgan City from El Dorado is 303 miles.
Okay.
And Elk City from El Dorado is like 500 miles.
Yeah, and it's a lot west and north. So I don't know what flyway.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So probably 600-700 miles, but it long enough for me to get asleep.
600.
Yeah, I got you. He did it. He did it over there. Long enough for me to get to sleep and get a terrible headache. So
yeah, but man, what a great, I remember getting off the airplane at Reagan, and I thought, just like 3 hours ago, I was in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the next best thing to time travel.
Yeah, it is.
To realize.
Well, if you go fast enough and many times around the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I do a 6-7 joke? I mean, there's nothing
yeah,
funny
quit moving
about
that microphone away
I'm
from you.
sorry, I'm moving forward. Anytime that there's a 6-7 reference, it's pretty much over now.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
ever since some kids made fun of me over here that day, I hadn't said it.
So what's the lady that ran for president instead of
Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris. Her new website is something 67.
Why?
Because she wanted to reference 6-7, and they said, "Well, hey, it's already done. It's already made its way out of the kindergarten, so it's not a thing anymore."
Future voters.
I mean, at this point, that would basically be the same as having a 6'9", a 420. Just
all that in a bag of chips.com.
Yeah, it doesn't help you.
That doesn't. Been there, done that. .com. So.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. But hey, how about some 1-star Amazon reviews? I love these, by the way.
Let me hear it.
Because most of the time, it's not really the product; it's the person. You can tell by reading the reviews. So, remember, we've been watching this show called Extracted, And
is it on Netflix?
No, it's not on Netflix. It's on Tubi.
Okay.
So it's free.
Yeah.
You can watch it. And because I know how you are about paying for stuff.
No, I don't pay for anything now. I got
not anymore.
Yeah, I got this whole little thing.
He's got a whole Netflix subscription on somebody else's name.
Well, not that, but you got to have a lot of aluminum foil around the house so they can't find out where it's coming from.
Yeah, Faraday yourself in.
So, but it's on Tubi and it's called Extracted. And basically, so do you know the reality show Alone? They take them out there and leave them in the middle of the woods,
and they get scared and say, "No, I want to go home."
Well, I mean, they have to survive. You know?
Yeah.
So, same thing here. They take them out, except you're not alone, really. There's cameras watching you everywhere. And you have your crew, whether it's your parents, your children, your siblings, whomever, back at HQ. And they are participating in games or strategizing to get you the things that you need to survive. And so there was one, and it was like an 18-year-old kid. And Boomer. This kid, He'd been out there like 12 hours, so he's having Xbox withdrawals. And he literally leans his head up against a tree, and he's like, mentally, I'm spent. I'm not in a good enough mental state to do this right now. And
after 12 hours?
Yeah. And his parents, like, they got him a box of survival stuff, fishing line, water, food, Faraday rod, or Ferris rod, to start fires, all kinds of stuff. A drone flies it out there to where he is and drops it from here to 20 feet away. He won't even go get it. And mentally, I'm just not prepared for that. Mentally, I can't. And he just laid down on the ground. Mentally, I can't. Yes.
He just tapped out.
But the thing is, you can't tap out. Your crew has to extract you. They have to say it's okay for you to leave.
Oh, so
And so I can tell you the problem real quick, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Because I'd have left his little ass. I'm telling you now, he'd have learned. He would have learned.
It's been a hard lesson.
If he would have done that, if it'd been him, I'd be like, he'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. He'll walk over and look in that box sooner or later, hoping maybe there's something to eat in it.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be hungry.
Well, because I promise you, by the time I was 18, I had learned enough lessons of you either going to figure it out or
it ain't going to happen.
Or it ain't going to happen. Or if I got to help you figure it out,
you're not going to like the way that turns out.
Yeah, you're not gonna enjoy it.
That's not the conclusion you want.
Yeah.
So like a guy told me one day, man, I was umpiring a baseball game and a guy was like, listen, you and I can go to the parking lot. I said, hey, buddy, you don't want that. I promise you, you don't want that.
Yeah.
And I was just deadpan serious looking at him. He's like,
all right.
Walked off. I don't know if he wanted it or not, but I had to convince him he didn't. Because let me tell you, the most dangerous place on a ball field is not behind the plate.
It's in the parking lot?
It's in the parking lot. Harshaw and I love doing games with Harshaw. And there's a reason you call him Chief. He's forgotten more about baseball than you'll ever know, but he and I did a game one time, and it was a state championship game. And I mean, it was everything in that game was close. The score was 24-22 when it was over. There were bang plays every inning, at every base, all the time. Swipe tags close at the plate, just entire game. And so no one's happy when the game's over except the winning team because they finally did win it. But this mama walks by and she says, way to give them the game, Blue. And Harshaw, in pure Warren Harshaw fashion, looked at her and said, thank you for noticing. Because I woke up this morning and I said to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take one group of kids I don't know, and I'm going to give them an advantage over another group of kids I don't know. So thank you for noticing. You have a very well-trained eye. And she was just like dumbfounded. Mm-hmm. We're just there waiting to get paid at this point. Mm-hmm. But we had to sit there like another 10 minutes, and I'm like, man, I hope nobody else walks by.
I saw
because Harshaw's fast. He can run away. I can't.
He can run faster backwards than most people can run forward. And can prove it.
Yes.
Or could prove it. Did
prove it, yeah. He when he and Bill Nolan and Knox White and all of them, they were refereeing football. They were doing college. And then they were doing USFL games. And then the referees went on strike, and they were called in to do NFL games as replacement referees. And there was somebody, and I don't remember who, Bill may have told me way back when.
Supposed to have been real fast.
But whomever it was supposed to be one of the fastest men in the NFL. And Harshaw outran him backwards.
Backing up.
Outran him.
So I saw a play yesterday on TikTok. Catcher blocks a ball that's low into his right. He gets, he does right. He comes down and he blocks it. Goes off his shoulder and lands about 3 feet from him, dead.
Mm-hmm.
The ball's dead. And he'd already pulled his mask off.
Wait, why's the ball dead?
Not moving.
Okay.
I didn't, I understand. He takes his mask and he rakes it
That's
back.
a balk.
Yep.
That's a balk.
100% every day, all day.
You cannot use anything.
It's a balk.
You cannot use anything to help you
stop
a ball or to retrieve a ball at all. If the ball's unreachable, you throw both hands up. But you can't then take your hat and lean under there and get it. Other than your glove or your bare hand, you can't use anything to touch that baseball. That's a balk.
That's what they said.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if you ever have to call it, you're going to have to explain it. You're going to have to explain it to one coach.
Well, especially when the runner is walked back to third and everything is stopped, and he, instead of reaching out with his hand, he's got his mask in there. And he just raked it.
That's an RBI for the catcher. That's all I can tell you.
And he's going.
Yeah, I know.
And the coach is coming out and they said that is a balk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like I had a game one time here in El Dorado at the C League field. Kid hits a ground ball and it hits the pitcher's mound and goes into the dugout. Foul ball. And one of the coaches is screaming. And I'm like, Coach, what do you mean? And he's like, no, what do you mean? I was like, it's a foul ball. It's pretty clear. No, it's not. And he's trying to explain to me why it's not a foul ball. I was like, Coach, did that ball pass the bag before it went foul? Well, no.
Foul ball.
Foul ball. Plain and simple.
What did you want it to play it?
What do you want me to do? Just go put it back in the dugout and then say, y'all get running? Well, whether it was a foul or not, the moment I called it dead, it's dead.
Yeah, it's dead.
I appreciated always umpiring games with Kelly Gall because Kelly, again, knew the rules, knew the game in and out. There was very little you were going to get past him. Man, I had a coach one time wearing me out. I was a field umpire about runner's interference. The kid at second base didn't catch the ball cleanly because the runner from first to second interfered with him. And I didn't call it because that's not what I saw. And this coach just isn't stopping. This kid's already over to third now, and it's like 10 pitches later, maybe an out later, and this coach is still harping about it. And finally I said, Coach, is there something you want to say? Yeah. I said, then call timeout. So he does. And he comes out on the field. And I'm like, what? That was runner's interference, blah, 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 blah. And I said, Coach, if it was runner's interference, I would have called it. The fact that I didn't call it should tell you all you need to know. Well, I appeal. You appeal 10 pitches later?
Yeah, you can't appeal now.
And I'm like, I don't think so. But to make you feel better, I called for Kelly. And Kelly's like, yeah. Now, he knows what's going on. He can hear this coach just as well as I can. He thought that there was runner's interference. He said, I didn't see runner's interference. He said, here's what I saw. A runner running first to second on a clean line, and the second baseman was trying to come up and get the ball. And the runner then goes around him to avoid collision. And he said, so if anything, it might have been fielder's interference. He said, but I wouldn't have called that either. That coach certainly wasn't happy then. He ends up getting tossed before the game's over because now he's not had nothing we do is right. I don't like the way you breathe.
Yeah.
Your mom just called. She hates you.
All those.
Yeah.
I had a coach get really upset with me one time umpiring a pitching machine game.
Pitching machine game. I've been thrown out of one of those.
I've had to throw two coaches out of a pitching machine game. One was had a coach come to me after a play had happened. What had happened in the play was a kid had hit the ball, and the kid that was on third base came across home plate but never touched home plate. And then the kid that was behind him, that was on second base, came through and touched the plate and could have let well enough go, but somebody from the stands hollered it, said, "He never touched the plate." And I had already noticed it, and I called him out. Coach comes out of the dugout, has his fist balled up at me. I'm 17 years old. Has his fist balled up at me, and I can tell he's angry. And it's a pitching machine game, and again, you know anything about me, especially at 17. Oh, you mad? Yeah. Oh, you're mad? And so I'm sitting there trying to explain it to him, and he's getting just angrier and angrier, and I start laughing, and he
didn't want you to call him out for missing the plate?
He said something along the lines of, "You need somebody to wipe that smirk off of your mouth." And I said, "You need to get out of the ball field. You're gone." And he said, "I'm not going anywhere." I said,
"Oh, yes, you are."
I said, "Officers at the B League field right now. It'll take 10 seconds for him to get over here."
Yeah. Of course,
I just stared.
Of course, I don't remember who it was. El Dorado was playing Joe T. Robinson or one of them teams. You know, their coach went and sat down on the field, called his team to the sideline for a timeout, sat down on the field and would not get up. He got ejected, still wouldn't get up. They had to get the sheriff's department to come out there and remove him from the field. I don't remember.
He was having a sit-in.
And my thing was, did you think you were going to win?
He's going to throw an Opie fit.
You know, El Dorado was like 8-0 at that point. Had mercy ruled most of the teams they had played. They were the defending state champions, and you came in. You're in here mad because you're losing.
Football
Talk
game?
about unrealistic expectations. Yeah, football game. Yeah. That's unrealistic expectations, to say the least.
Hey, let me ask you a question that I don't understand. Maybe I do, but I'm not sure. Why can't you call the Super Bowl when you're talking about something that you're advertising?
It's trademarked. NFL owns that.
You can't say Super Bowl. They all say the big game or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what it does, it prevents other people from marketing on that name. And I get it. You know, in radio for years, we used to have quote unquote Super Bowl giveaway and this and this.
But then you couldn't.
And you couldn't do that anymore. And listen, I'm going to tell you, I would almost rather face off with a labor union than face the lawyers for the NFL.
Yeah.
Them Jews don't play about money.
No,
you hear me?
No, they got as much money as God.
You better believe they do. And
they got God on their side.
If they can figure out how to get it from him, they'll sue him too. Yeah, them and Dana White's organization, UFC. Don't play with either one of them's lawyers.
Dana White sold out to another big organization.
Well, didn't he end up selling
to a country or to China or somebody?
I thought he sold it to Vince McMahon.
No, something big.
The Saudis.
I'm serious.
I was going to say, I think
UAE or the Saudis.
I think it's somewhere Middle East actually. But now they still want Dana White in charge of operations.
Yeah. Well, Dana White's still the face of it.
Yeah. But that's
ask Siri.
You know, at my house, the biggest thing is to keep the boy child, the 6-year-old, from asking Alexa everything. And I mean everything. He'll hear a word on TV, and instead of saying, "Daddy, what does such and such mean?" He'll walk past me to go and say, "Alexa, what does the blah, blah, blah mean?" Let's see. Who bought the UFC?
Hey, Jamie, pull that up for us real quick.
Yeah, Joe Rogan reference there. A group led by talent agency WME-IMG, now Endeavor, along with Silver Lake Partners, KKR, and MSD for $4 billion.
Yeah, Saudis.
Well,
and in 2023, they merged with WWE. I knew Vince McMahon was involved in that somehow.
I hate it when he's right.
But yeah, it's basically a group. But how would it not be IMG? They're involved in everything else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know. So.
And why?
You know, no one in our audience knows what that's about, and I'm not going to say what Iron White is about. But my kids to this day
still say it like that.
They still say it like that. So,
well, we have certain sayings family-wise too, because when Maddox was a little boy, he says, "I can't want it."
I can't want it.
I can't want it. And so that's, I mean, he's 20 now, so we're still saying I can't want it.
My funniest Maddox story.
Maddox is my oldest daughter's son, my grandson.
His grandson. And Maddox was little. He was 6, 7, 8 years old, somewhere in there. And my oldest daughter, Micah, was going to babysit him. And she babysat him several times. Well, one time, Boomer and Fru and Amy and Eric, they all go out to do whatever, go to eat or whatever it is. And they come back, and Boomer looks at Maddox and says, Maddox, did you listen to Micah? You know, just one of those, were you good while we were gone? And Boomer told me Maddox got this look on his face. He said, she didn't listen to me.
Yeah, she didn't listen to me.
So in other words,
I'm running the show here. What's the matter with her?
I didn't listen to her. And guess what? She didn't listen to me either.
Yeah.
And now Maddox is about to graduate college.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that crazy?
You know,
when that kid was born.
Isn't that something? Time marches on.
I remember Amy was big pregnant. She came to a remote we were doing.
Yeah.
There used to be a dog spa or something, and it was there at the corner of 19th and Callion. Right now, it's an empty lot there now. But there was a dog spa or something, and you had sold them a remote, and so we were over there doing the remote.
Yeah.
And actually, I wasn't. I was playing golf and saw y'all over there and crawled over the fence and came over there to talk to y'all. But that was the first time I met Amy, and she was big pregnant.
Yeah.
And I mean, just like a week or two later, out came Maddox. But that was.
That's why she only had one. If you have a Maddox, you only have one.
You only have one. Yeah. You know, Sherry Poor, Mike's wife. Yeah. They only have one child, Nicole. And it was funny. I was 18 when I met Nicole. She was 8. And great age to just pick at a kid, right? And so her name is Nicole Brienne. And so I used to say, well, you know, they named you after me. And she's like, no, they didn't. I was like, Breland. Your name is Nicole Breland. And she's like, it's Nicole Brienne. I said, I'm pretty sure it's Breland. And she's like, it is not. And I was like, well, and then it's Nickel Breland. And so I called her Nickel Breland for years.
Oh, my word.
After that. And it's amazing that child ever loved me, but she did, and she still does. And she, and she hit the jackpot when she got married. She married a great kid. Again, one of these guys that just makes you sick. So he decides, I think I want to start playing golf. He can do it.
Scratch.
Not scratch, but and you ought to see him play guitar. You know, it's like, it's boring to him to have to, hit all these licks that, only a third of the people ever born in the entire history of the world can do.
But he can.
But he can just do it, seamlessly. And, Eric Clapton calls him for lessons and stuff. I mean, just that kind,
John Mayer. Yes. That's some friends. He's passed on, but his wife's still living. And they had a daughter named Jordan. And when she was little, I would say, are you a little boy? No, I'm a girl. I said, well, you got a boy name, and so I've always, and of course she's grown and gone and got her own family now, but she still thinks I'm calling her a little boy.
It's funny what kids remember, because there's a lady that growing up, she was, when I was a little kid, she was a mom and she had kids about my age. And when my grandfather passed away, she told me a story. She said, when I was, little, 6 years old, I would go to church, and she said, Brother Sanford was always there, and he would say, hey, little boy. And she'd say, so I just started calling him little girl. And she said, he did that till I got married. And he quit calling me little boy after I got married finally. And it's amazing, but the kids remember that kind of stuff. There's, I remember, so Uncle Mason's brother, JL, he was relentless on me as a kid about picking on me. And as a matter of fact, I didn't think he liked me when I was little because of how much he picked on me. And then Daddy explained it to me, said he only does that for two reasons. One, because he sees it gets under your skin. And two, he likes you, or he wouldn't fool with you. And so that... it always settled it for me. Then he could pick on me all he wanted to. And then it didn't get under my skin. Yeah. Because I knew he really deep down he liked me.
Yeah, I had a problem with that too, recognizing that that teasing thing when I was little, and it just really hurt my feelings a lot.
But now you weren't called Troy growing up, were you?
No, I was Mike until I started school, and I became Little Mike when my sister started dating her husband Mike. Big Mike, Little Mike.
T Mike.
Yeah, I never got T Mike, but I got a Little Mike. And so first day of school, and because I knew my sister's boyfriend Mike was named James Michael, and so he had told stories about when he was in school, they'd call a roll and say James Ardrish, and he said, "Well, it's Mike," you know. So I knew that if you had your middle name is your name you're called, it causes confusion in school, like you did.
Yes.
So, Mama dropped me off first day, first grade, and I got my little satchel, and I go about halfway, and I come back. I said, "Mama," I said, "can I get them to call me Troy?" She goes, "Well, yeah, I guess so if you want to." She said, I said, "Because they're going to do that anyway. Mike told me that they call you by your first name." I said, yeah. She said, "Yeah." So I changed my name to Troy when I started first grade. Because I knew my
school was going to do it either way.
Yeah, they were going to do it either way. So James Michael Ardrish was he was the quarterback of the football team.
Oh, okay.
And dating my sister, brother.
Yeah.
And where I went to school, Emmy Norman Elementary was right across the street from the high school. And so, brother, you know, I could say, yeah, that's quarterback football team. Yeah, that's my, you know, we'd see him from the schoolyard. We'd see him walking.
My sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, my sister's boyfriend over there.
You were the cool kid on the playground.
No, because then my sister was a cheerleader, and then by about the third grade, you know, I was getting it. "Boy, your sister fine, baby."
Yeah,
that's my sister.
I don't want to hear that.
Come on, man. One more story about Southern pronunciations. Amanda and Shane have got some friends, obviously, new friends since they moved to Minnesota. Austin, Minnesota is where they live. So they were talking about where they had worked and things they had done, and Shane was always referring to Lionel. And so
I can just imagine where that's going.
So, you know, he's always talking about, well, back at Lionel, and so they just stopped him one time, and they said, "Shane, who's this guy you keep talking about, Lionel?" He said, "It's not a person, it's a place, it's a business." A business? He says, "Yeah, Lion Oil." He goes, "Oh, well, you kept saying Lionel." So oil is all,
and it's pronounced the same whether you spell it frontwards or backwards. Lionel.
Lionel, yeah.
You know, Paul Starr, who was our vice president at the radio station prior to me, Paul grew up in New England, and so to hear him say oil,
how would he say it?
Owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that guy, Paul Starr, and he's still with us. And he and his wife Dana, and they have a house in somewhere Canyon, Texas. And every time I see him, he's like living his best life. He's huge Braves fan, loves the Braves. And as a matter of fact, I still owe him from a bet we had when the Braves and the Astros were in the World Series. And I'm supposed to take him and his wife to dinner. And I've got to go there.
They live in Canyon, Texas.
Yeah, but I've got to go there to do it.
Yeah.
And he would have had to come here to take me and Casey to dinner if I would have won. So
so you welching on that thing so far?
No, I'd rather owe you for there than beat you out of it.
Yeah.
You know? So, but great guy. He's all the time. He got to go to Braves fantasy camp a few years ago, and you know, like put on the jersey and the whole uniform and get out there. And you know, Paul's not a young man, and so he's out there, you know, throwing the ball around and all that. And I think he went to see the Red Sox play, and you know, I would love to go see the Red Sox play in Boston. You know,
going to Fenway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that just. I want to. I want to eventually be able to make a trip, like, you know, just around the country and visit all of the ballparks.
Wow.
You know,
yeah, there are people that do
Jay
that.
Bunyard, Jay and his kids, they've done that, and I'm sure by now they've gone to all 32 ballparks. But they do it. They've done that for years. They try to hit 2 or 3 every summer. And I remember one year, you know, they went to Camden Yards, went to Baltimore. Shea Stadium, the old Shea Stadium, Yankee Stadium, all those. And, a lot of people say they'd love to go to Wrigley. I have no desire to go to Wrigley. Once in Chicago.
I went to Chicago, and the only two I've been to is Chicago and Astros at the Astrodome. And I've been to Minute Maid too.
When you went with me, it was a Minute Maid.
Yeah, I forgot that I went to with you.
But
to
Minute Maid Park doesn't exist anymore.
Now it's Dakin Park.
Yeah.
And it's
Whatever
just not
that
the
is.
same. Just not the same.
Whatever that is.
The AC was still working just the same as it was when it was Minute Maid, so I don't understand why it's Dakin Park.
And think about this: the first time Micah ever went there, it was called Enron Field.
At Minute Maid?
No, it was what became Minute Maid. It was Enron Field originally.
Did y'all know that OpenAI in one of their quarterly reports released something about using some type of Enron method of accounting, and it was just like, hold on,
that's not a good idea.
Hold on, wait. You said Enron.
You said Enron.
Everybody's already talking about this AI bubble. What?
Yeah.
And
if you use Enron.
Yeah, they actually used the name Enron in their report.
Yeah, probably not. There's just some things, like, for example, naming your child Osama.
Right.
Probably not a good idea, just generally speaking.
Yeah.
Admitting to using Enron type accounting, probably not the wisest thing.
Or if you want to be an venture capitalist, you wouldn't say wolf capitalists.
No. No.
Although the movies.
Yeah, The Wolf of Wall Street.
On the replay, I like that movie.
Listen. Of course, especially when you take it and you compare it to the very first one that came out in the 80s with, I was fixing to say Michael Keaton. It wasn't Michael Keaton.
It was Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, yeah. And Gordon Greco and Greed is Good.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the name of the Wall Street was the name of the movie. And, I was so young when that came out. I remember watching it, but I just didn't. A lot of it I didn't get.
It didn't click, yeah.
And I have to admit, even as an adult, a lot of it still don't click. Some of that stuff is just so far beyond.
It is the way the figures.
I can follow a lot of things, but medical stuff and
money
and financial, that deep financial thinking like that, I can't do.
I can't either.
Like I said, I'm a disciple of Dave Ramsey. So
yeah, put it in the envelope.
I don't have a credit card. I have very little debt, and that's because all the money I made, I used to pay all that stuff off. And Dave says if you'll live like no one else, eventually you'll get to live like no one else.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, and I put it to practice. But beyond that,
when they start talking about the federal,
we need someone here who can tell us about shorts, how you can make money losing money.
Yeah,
that I need that
buy on
job.
the short,
I need the job where you can make money by losing money.
Yeah,
that's the job I need.
Or you can be big enough to where you can't fail. What is the breakover point on that? How big do I have to get before the government bails me out?
Yeah, well,
like it did GM or
not just GM, but all the banks
Dodge,
and
the banks,
and and again, I'll go back to something I said a few weeks ago on this podcast. I have no problem. I have zero problem with the government bailing out Goldman Sachs, for example, Wells Fargo. Zero problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah.
What I do have a problem with is the only people who got screwed in that were people who owned stock.
Yeah.
And but them CEOs were still getting those huge, those huge year-end bonuses. Those are supposed to be merit-based. And I'm sorry, when you have to be bailed out by the government, there's not a whole lot of merit to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look how brave you are. That's going to be my new thing. Look how brave you are. Like the lady from The View.
That's so brave of you.
So brave of you. Let's see. Let's do these real quick and we'll take a break. We were going to talk about these 1-star reviews on Amazon. This is for an electric toothbrush. Quote, "This thing vibrates like it's trying to start a motorcycle in my mouth. My teeth are clean, but I feel alert in a way that I don't trust."
Oh my gosh.
Throw pillow, 1 star. Too decorative to nap on, too soft to sit against. It exists purely to judge me. I've moved it 3 times and it's won every round. Air fryer. It's not the first time we've heard of a 1-star review on an air fryer.
Yeah.
Remember we had one a few weeks ago. Air fryer. Made life so simple that my wife actually told me to stop calling it cooking supper when all I did was throw it in the air fryer. Fitness tracker. He keeps asking me if I'm exercising when I'm clearly just watching a scary movie. Mind your own business, wrist cop.
Shut up. What?
Wrist cop?
Wrist cop. Yeah.
Lavender scented candle. Smells like a spa I can't afford, and my cat refuses to enter the room. I love it. Jax, you'll get this one. Weighted blanket.
Oh.
Feels like a loving hug from someone who just will not let go.
Yes.
Slept great, but woke up in a panic.
Yeah. I got to get out from
Kept
under
having
this.
dreams of someone pinning me down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that little devil girl that was in that room in Amy's house.
Mm-hmm. And that's your fault. I'm
I
gonna go back
stayed there.
I'm gonna go back and tell you again.
That was all my fault.
For those who don't know, Boomer's daughter, previous house she lived in,
was haunted.
It was haunted. There was a little ghost girl that lived in that upstairs bedroom.
No, they stayed up there, but terrorized me in the downstairs right below her.
Oh, okay.
She lived in the attic.
Mm-hmm. They always live in the attic.
Sure they do.
Yeah. And so Boomer, knowing there's a ghost girl that lives in the house,
went and slept in that room.
Slept there anyway.
That was always cold.
Yeah. Slept there anyway. And then one day went to get up, and little ghost girl wouldn't let him get up.
Yeah.
Pinned him down.
Pinned him like was on top of me, pinning me down. I said, and then tried to come back to El Dorado with me.
Mm-mm.
I said, oh, no, you got to go back.
No, you
can't come in here. Wanted to come live in the upstairs bedroom up at my house. Because,
Now, how do you know all that?
Oh, I don't know how I know that, because my mother had that too. And my sister has that too.
Is that right?
That I don't know if it's
I see dead people.
I see dead people. No, that being able to see saints, see haints.
Yeah, haints.
What do you call that? What do you call that? That's one of the gifts.
Clairvoyance.
I know her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I went to school with her. Clairvoyance.
Is she a freshman here?
Jax.
Let's see. 1-star ring light. Turned it on and immediately realized I'm not the person I thought I was. Ignorance is better.
Yeah. Being able to not to see as much.
Yeah. Reusable grocery bags, 1 star. All of my friends applauded me for being eco-friendly, and now I can never forget them at home again. Too much pressure. Said if I had to do over again, I'd have never bought them.
Yeah.
So,
well, how do you do it if you get delivered? You say, hold on a minute, let me empty them and give them back to you?
I guess. I don't know. I really don't know how you do that. I've never had groceries delivered.
Wow. You missing one of the 9 wonders in the world now.
Well, here's my thing. How are they going to use you can't use my Brookshire's points if I'm getting them delivered. I don't shop at that other store.
I get them delivered from the Walmart.
Yeah, I don't shop there.
Brookshire's delivers too.
That's what I'm saying. But how are they going to use my Brookshire's points?
You do it online.
Oh, I'm going to have to get with my wife, find out what the password is.
Yeah.
Because one thing about the Brookshire's app I have found out is that if I log in, it logs her out.
Really?
And then it never fails. She'll be like, how many points do we have? I'm like, I don't know. And so she'll be like, I got to log back in. I don't remember that password, blah, 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 because you logged in. I'm sorry, it was my account to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just took it over.
Yeah.
Like my Amazon.
Yeah.
That was been Sandy since like 2004.
Yeah. Martha and I finally got mine detached from Martha's. Finally.
Oh, your Amazon?
Yeah. If it can happen bad, and if it requires anything about freshman level of using a computer, Martha and I are out. Old people in technology is what I always say.
Yeah, the other day, I came across a picture. You, me, Mike Poor, Ken Sibley, all at a lodge up on Lake Ouachita, and you were laid out across the couch. And Martha commented on that picture and said, all you need to do now is put the remote in his hand so he can fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daddy, you go to sleep. Get that remote in your hand so you can go to sleep.
Yeah. Hold it under my chin.
Yeah, I say that now. My wife had to wake me up from my recliner last night. I was dunt. D-U-N-T.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll have more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
32 years ago, a young Robert Rushing began his life of public service joining the El Dorado Fire Department. While saving lives during the day, Robert Rushing put himself through college and law school at night, eventually opening a law practice in 2010 to protect and serve the rights of people in South Arkansas. By the way, he was still working as a fireman at the time. And after 23 years of service, Robert Rushing answered the call again and was elected as city attorney. Today, Robert Rushing still has that desire to serve. Re-elect Robert Rushing as El Dorado city attorney.
Experience, courage, common sense. All of these are traits we want in any elected position, but especially in the man we will pick as our next sheriff. Michael Fife hasn't just been in law enforcement for 30 plus years. He's the one who answers the call in the middle of the night, putting himself last and Union County first, looking folks in the eye, doing what's right, standing up for all of us. Vote for Michael Fife for Union County Sheriff.
Every gift tells a story, and at Especially For You, they help you make it unforgettable. Birthdays, wedding showers, baby showers, graduations are just because. Especially For You creates one-of-a-kind gifts made to touch the heart. Anyone can buy a gift card, but the best gifts aren't bought. They're made at Especially For You. Stop by and visit Especially For You and find the perfect gift for life's special moments.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It could be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer and our special guest this week, Jax Sanford. Jax, thanks for being here with us. Jax, how about a Florida man?
Yes.
Dramatic pause there, wasn't it?
There?
I don't know what to do with my hands. So for those of you, and I'm amazed that you still have to explain this because we had a guest a few weeks ago. He's like, I don't know.
Never heard of
Florida man. So what you can do is you go to Google and you just type any month and any day, not the year, just the month and the day, and then put Florida man at the end of it and hit search. You may have to read 3 or 4 stories to get to it, but there's something just outrageously crazy that happened on that date.
Bizarre.
In Florida.
Yeah. By a man.
Yeah. This comes out of Ocala, Florida. A disagreement over the meaning of Groundhog Day spiraled out of control Tuesday night, ending with one man in custody. According to Marion County Sheriff's Office, 46-year-old Dennis Paul Kearney was arrested after getting into a heated argument with his neighbor over whether Groundhog Day was a legitimate holiday or just a movie that tricked people into celebrating rodents. The dispute reportedly began around 7:30 p.m. while the two men were drinking Double Crowns. That's Crown Royal with RC Cola, with Royal Crown Cola, Double Crowns.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could buy RC anymore.
They're still there. I mean, it's on there with the Fanta. Yeah.
They were drinking in Kearney's driveway. Witnesses say in Kearney's neighbor's driveway, Witnesses say the argument intensified after Kearney insisted Puxatawney Field was fake news. And Florida don't even have groundhogs. At some point, Kearney allegedly retrieved a can of Aquanet hairspray, claiming he could prove winter was already over using brake fluid and aerosol spray. He said it was science.
Wait. Brake fluid
and aerosol
and aerosol spray.
Yeah, he's going to use that aerosol to light that brake fluid.
This is not going to end well. I got to this point in the story and I was like, oh, I see where this is going.
Do we know by the end of the story if they have eyebrows?
Maybe not.
So, deputies say Kearney poured brake fluid onto the hood of his neighbor's vehicle, fires up the Aquanet, and tried to ignite the mixture using a grill lighter, declaring if it catches fire, winter's over. The experiment did not work as intended. That's what it says right here in the story. The experiment did not work as intended.
Okay.
Instead, the mixture erupted into a ball of flames, causing Kearney to drop the aerosol can, which then explodes. The car's paint was damaged. The grill lighter melted. Kearney threw himself backwards and bust his head open on the driveway.
Oh, Lord.
When deputies arrived, they found Kearney sitting in a lawn chair with a rag to the back of his head. He was transported by EMS to a local hospital and then arrested and charged with, you ready for all these? Criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, destruction of property, violation of the local burn ban, and using a product inconsistent with its labeling.
Oh.
So here, just let me tell y'all, as a former police officer, what I just heard and all that, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
There's only one reason you're charging him with that
They
many
gave him all
things.
kind of things, yeah.
Yeah, he was evidently an asshole when they got there. When deputies were asked if Kearney really didn't believe Groundhog Day was a real day, a spokesman for the sheriff's department said, "I'm not sure Mr. Kearney even knows what day today is."
There you go. That could be one of those alcohol was involved.
Alcohol was involved. That's right. So, yeah, brake fluid and Aquanet hairspray and a lighter, not a good combination. Incidentally, there is no scientific method which proves that winter is over based on using those products.
Mm-hmm.
And you might as well talk to the ground.
And even, the groundhog is hit and miss anyway.
Easily.
Yeah.
The groundhog is clairvoyant.
This Puxtatawny is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that that charge that he had there with using a product inconsistent with the labeling? That's a real law.
That is.
You know, if you look on the back of an aerosol can, it says,
"Do not use near a flame."
Here's what it says. It is a violation of federal law to use this product in a manner inconsistent with its labeling. The label is the law. So you can't say I didn't know. It's right there on the label. But it is a federal law. So they're not going to have, that charge isn't going to stick in Florida because
it still burns though.
Yeah. But so believe it or not, I Googled and said, has anyone ever been prosecuted under this law of using a package inconsistent with its labeling?
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Another Florida guy?
Another Florida guy.
Who'd have thunk it?
Palatka, Florida. I don't even know where that is.
I don't either.
Authorities say a local man learned an important lesson about federal law after allegedly using a household product in a way that was, according to officials, quote, extremely inconsistent with its labeling. According to the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, 42-year-old Ron Haskins was cited after neighbors reported a strong chemical odor and what appeared to be an aggressive problem solving coming from the backyard. Deputies arrived to find Haskins attempting to rid his property of mosquitoes by fogging the yard with industrial-strength agricultural pesticide clearly labeled for crop plane use only. So you got crop duster. Where do you buy that, by the way?
Well,
do you just run down
over to the ag place,
over at the store,
over there to get the co-op?
So he goes and buys fog duster, crop duster, mosquito killer, and he's putting it in his backyard.
Agent Orange.
Haskins allegedly poured the pesticide into a leaf blower.
Oh, dear Lord.
Taped the nozzle with duct tape except for a small opening for better reach. And proceeded to walk his yard wearing swim goggles and a bandana over his nose. Neighbors say the fog drifted into nearby yards, knocking unconscious several dogs and one flamingo.
There's another story.
There's another one. You know, when asked why he didn't follow the instructions, Haskins reportedly said, "They don't know my mosquitoes." Oh, I got them super mosquitoes.
Yeah, it's them Alaska mosquitoes down there.
Them mosquitoes that'll pick you up and fly off with you.
Oh, those are in Houston.
Yeah, in Morgan City.
Deputies shut down the operation after noting Haskins attempting to spray his porch, his truck, and what he described as the general air.
The general air, not area.
Yeah. Haskins was cited for improper pesticide use and advised that warning labels are written, quote, because of men just like you.
Exactly.
When asked if he would do anything differently, Haskins said, "Yeah, I'd use a smaller leaf blower."
Yeah. I'm trying to get that to my general area.
So this allegedly happened in 2008.
Yeah.
He was prosecuted by federal authorities for using a product inconsistent. And, you know, there's actually a division of the Department of Agriculture that's what they do. That's their whole...
They prosecute that.
Those guys sit around waiting for somebody to use. I just hope somebody uses a product inconsistent with its labeling.
Bought it at the co-op, put it in a blower instead of an airplane. Well, he figured the airplane's going to blow it out.
Mm-hmm. You know...
He blew it out.
I can't... Just take the size of a normal backyard. Okay? What is it, an eighth of a lot? I mean... 1/8 of an acre is a lot, I think. So you could be like me, and you could have 2 lots. So, I've got 1/4 of an acre total, but my backyard is less than half of that.
Yeah.
This is probably meant to cover like 1,000 acres.
Yeah.
So how much was he using?
And most of the times, those type pesticides are very concentrated, and you're using like 2 or 3 cups per 20 gallons or something like that.
Right. But so how much was this guy using? And he's walking around with goggles and a bandana.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's no longer alive today.
Or he's he's got an eye growing out of a finger or something.
I feel like he could have got the same, if not better, results using Dr. Tinctures.
Man, let me tell you something. Dr. Tinctures, it takes care of everything.
It will kill some things.
It will. Man, as a kid, Breland would say, he'd say, man, my throat's starting to itch.
Yeah, get a little swig of Dr. Tinctures.
He'd put just a few drops of Dr. Tinctures in the cap of the Dr. Tinctures, and then fill it up the rest of the way with water.
Yeah.
And still, it would burn like fire, going down. But guess what you wouldn't have? Strep.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that strep.
Or taste buds. The ability to speak.
And the sides of your cheeks feel like grated cheese in there.
Yeah, or the ability to control your urine flow. I mean, just, Dr. Tichenor does lots of stuff. I'm just saying.
Things you don't want it to do.
So, that using this product inconsistent with its labeling. So, like I said, there's a whole division.
Good law.
There's a whole division at the ag department, and they can't wait to use it to prosecute people.
They want you to.
Yeah. So, heard of a guy one time. He had called. He'd called on the back of those spray foam cans. You take it a little bit and it expands.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy called the company and told them that he had put some in his ears because he couldn't find his earplugs to go hunting, and he'd put it in his ears to, and now he's having a hard time getting it out. He got one out because he put a screw in it and was able to pull it out, but he can't get the other one out. And he was doing it as a prank. He called, he recorded it and all that. So one of his relatives happened to be a friend of mine and was telling me about it. I said, So I called him, and I was supposedly from such and such government agency.
Inconsistent use of a product.
Yeah, using a. Sir, you realize that what you've done is you've violated federal law, and I'm going to need you to meet me in Little Rock at the federal building, and you're going to be taken into custody at that point by the FBI. No, hold on now, hold on. No, sir. There's no holding on.
No holding on. This is.
You have violated federal law.
Yeah.
And I remember telling him it'd be like trying to board an airplane with a handgun, sir. You can't do that. And Ben had this old boy freaked out. You hear me? And then finally let him off. But
well, since I don't feel like doing the paperwork,
yeah, I guess we'll let you go.
I also called a business owner one time of an air conditioning company and told him that we had a video of one of his employees letting some Freon out in the atmosphere. And this is when that first became a thing. Mm-hmm. This was back in the 90s. Which, incidentally, let me just say, if you put a can of Freon here in a balloon and you fill that balloon up with Freon and you tie it off and you let it go, that balloon's going to hit the ground. So tell me again how that Freon's going up in the atmosphere.
And
messing with the ozone layer. Anyway, so a lot of air conditioning guys, they were like, "Oh, I've been doing this since 1954. I ain't doing that. I'm not getting no certifications. I'm not getting one of them recovery machines. That's $1,200."
Mm-hmm.
So this guy,
he had said all that.
No, he hadn't. But I knew he had some older hands that worked for his company. So I called him and said, "We have video of one of your guys," and he's like, "Oh, dear Lord." And, I'm telling him about how serious this is. And, we're going to call Greenpeace and the Environmental Protection Agency. And, and then I explained to him that now we could meet and I have the only tape. Now, if I had that tape in my left hand and something happened to be in my right hand that took my attention off that, and I just laid that tape down and forgot it.
That's something that could happen.
That sounds like very plausible to me. I don't know what happened to that tape. I don't remember the last time I saw that tape. This guy starts going for it. Yep, when and where. It's like, hey man, hey, we're joking. You know, it was a radio prank. He was about to commit bribery.
Oh, I knew that.
That's what he said. Yeah, I was setting this guy up. Yeah. Sure you were. Yeah, you were looking at a $2,000 fine. You thought $1,500 sounds a lot better.
I'm gonna tell you, I wish I could have done or recorded, maybe still find it, of the guy that's he just calling people trying to get them to buy something. You know.
Oh, are you talking about?
And the cop,
Tom Mabe.
The cop is like at a place where there's been
yeah. So Tom Mabe, he would answer the phone different ways, but one time he answers and he's like, "Hello," and he's like, "Yeah, Tom." He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" And this guy goes into his sales pitch, and he's like, "So, this isn't Tom, by the way." He said, "Do you know Tom?"
Oh yeah,
I know Tom. We talked a bunch. He's like, And where are you at? Well, what do you mean? Well, I'm Detective so-and-so, and we're here at Tom's house, and it looks like Tom's been killed. All right, it doesn't look like it. He has been. There's a body. I'm looking at the body right now. And there's blood everywhere. And I'm just trying to figure out how close y'all were, how well you knew him.
You said you knew him.
You said you knew him.
And he gets real.
And he
gets real.
And this guy's like, no, hang on. And he said,
no, hanging on nothing.
He's like, no, where are you? Well, I'm at my office. He said, all right, smart ass. If I wanted to send you an effing letter, what city and state do I put on the envelope? Denver, Colorado. And then you hear him, he like, hey, can you run a background check on so-and-so in Denver, Colorado? And this guy's freaking out of the voice. Hang on. He's like, no, ain't no hanging on. He's like, got him so where were you last night at 8 o'clock? I was in Denver. Sure you were, bud. That's why you're calling here today, right? Yeah, that's why you're calling here 300-something miles away today, because you were in
fast.
Denver. Yeah, and Tom Mabe is like, so he's one of the best. I mean, him and
Tom Mabe.
I'm pretty sure that's it. Mabe.
Have y'all seen any or heard any of the stories from the second date update with Brooke and Jobel?
Oh my gosh!
With what?
The second date update with Brooke and Jobel.
I think JR started that, by the way.
Yes.
I'm giving you credit. JR Schumann. I'm giving you credit for that.
They tell some of the most crazy stories. And the thing is these people will call into this radio show and say, oh, I went on a date with so-and-so and it went so well,
great,
and they're not
and
giving
he
me a
ain't
call
called me back in 3 months.
And so then Brooke and Joe will give them a call, and it's like, wait, you told them that I just haven't been... Did you forget to mention that you covered yourself with peanut butter and jelly before we even knew each other for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, I just...
No, but then they do somewhere they're catching people cheating, too.
Yeah, that's not the second date update. That's the awkward Wednesday or whatever they call it. They
I heard one where a girl, the husband, let's see, which one was it?
Yeah, Brooke
anyway,
and Jubal,
the wrong person answered the phone in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Whoever was calling their husband or their wife, and the other one answered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, the amazing part to me is, and I guess because, everything's relative to what you have experience with, but a lot of times when they tell them, hey, this is Brooke and Jubal from...
They don't know.
And they're like, what?
Who?
Is this a radio show or what?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. That has to be demoralizing.
Yeah. You'd want them to recognize you for sure.
I think Brooke and Jubal are like in Tampa, St. Pete or something. I can't remember.
A big market, in other words. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but so they're probably the number 28 station out of 30.
Yeah.
But man, that bit works.
It does.
It's hilarious.
Well, and then the guy will say, "Well, let me just tell you about it." What the first date went like.
Yeah. So did she said she had a great time. Yeah. Did she forget to tell y'all that I found out she has a child? She literally told me she had no children, and then we go back to her place, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm down. And he said, we get there, and there's a crib with a baby in it.
Yeah.
And it's just some of the stuff is wild.
It is.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But Brooke and Jubal,
That is a funny show.
It is. Now, the idiot in the background who's always laughing too much. That guy needs to go. Yeah. I don't care for him.
Yeah.
But I guess every radio show has that, because there was us. Hey, look, I didn't say it was you. I was thinking about somebody else, actually.
I was just sitting here thinking, don't say anything, get yourself in trouble, Sandy Sanford.
No, I'm not going to say who it was, but he knows who it was. And
I know who it was.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you when we take this break. How about that?
When we turn everything off?
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and we will be back with more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
Now we're good.
Yeah.
So you guys are just like State Farm, right?
We barely cover boats by the dock.
Why barely?
You get what you pay for. Our bike coverage leaves out a lot.
I don't have a bike.
Can we just get some momentum on the song? Oh, I'm going. There's damage to your home on this block. We won't make things right, cause filing a claim is tough.
Can't I just do it in an app or call an agent?
No luck. Here comes the best part. Whoa! We're halfway there. Whoa! You're living on a prayer. Oh, my butt cheek.
Should have gone with State Farm.
Experience, courage, common sense. All of these are traits we want in any elected position, but especially in the man we will pick as our next sheriff. Michael Fife hasn't just been in law enforcement for 30 plus years. He's the one who answers the call in the middle of the night, putting himself last and Union County first, looking folks in the eye, doing what's right, standing up for all of us. Vote for Michael Fife for Union County Sheriff.
32 years ago, a young Robert Rushing began his life of public service joining the El Dorado Fire Department. While saving lives during the day, Robert Rushing put himself through college and law school at night, eventually opening a law practice in 2010 to protect and serve the rights of people in South Arkansas. By the way, he was still working as a fireman at the time. And after 23 years of service, Robert Rushing answered the call again and was elected as city attorney. Today, Robert Rushing still has that desire to serve. Re-elect Robert Rushing as El Dorado City Attorney.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer and our guest this week, Jax Sanford. Jax, thank you again for being here. So, Boomer, we have a world record that was set here in El Dorado for the world's shortest Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah, it's right in front of Martha's store.
And it's going to happen this weekend. Mm-hmm. It's going to take place Sunday, and it's the Crew of Mary Lou.
Yeah.
And, of course, named after Michael Rice's daughter, Mary Lou. And so beginning at 11:30, I believe, they're going to have to-go plates for sale. Pulled pork sandwich, chips, something else, $15.
At Fay-Rays.
At Fay-Rays.
Yeah.
And I think the money raised goes to the Magdalene House.
Yes. It does, yeah.
And anyway, then at 2:23, the parade is going to start. Mm-hmm. And again, it's going to be the Crew of Mary Lou in front of Fay-Rays this Sunday. Lunch starts at 11:30 till they sell out. And then the parade starts at 2:23.
And it ends at 2:25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's short.
Yeah.
It's the world's shortest Mardi Gras
It
parade.
goes to the end of the block and stops.
And, Hot Springs has the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade.
St. Patrick's, yeah.
They also have bathtub races.
They do.
Yeah. Which, if you've ever seen it, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to watch. And again, that's this happening this Saturday at Fay-Rays, or Sunday. Mm-hmm. This Sunday at Fay-Rays in El Dorado. So go by and check that out and visit with them. And again, great calls, Crew of Mary Lou and the Magdalene House. That's I think again all that's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. There's some other stuff going on, but it's way down the line.
I'm sorry. You went right past the one that I named last week.
David Phelps. Yeah, he's going to be at Emmanuel Baptist Church.
But I said Mark Phelps. That's David's younger brother. That's not coming. It's David Phelps.
David Phelps. Yeah. Let's see. And then coming up February the 28th is Rockin' for Alexis. It's their annual benefit concert. Trey Johnson, Dave Allman, Chris Loggins, Derek Woods. I'm trying to remember who all is going to be there, but a lot of local acts that you know. And again, that's going to be Charlie Hankins. I knew there was somebody else. That's going to be at Madhouse 101. That's Saturday, February the 28th at 5 p.m.
What about February the 16th?
Yep, February the 16th at Madhouse 101 is our political debate. So again, if you are a candidate with a primary opponent and you would like to participate in the debate, that's fine. You just got to let me know ahead of time. And you can reach out to me via my Facebook page or the South Arkansas Now Facebook page and get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to get you on the schedule. Got a lot of people committed. We'll have 2 mayoral candidates. We'll go be there that night. 2 candidates for city attorney are going to be there that night. I think we have 2 candidates for clerk of court, 2 candidates for county treasurer, county assessor. One, I can't remember now what all the races are, but it's going to be a good night.
Yeah.
And that's going to be February the 16th at Madhouse 101. My recommendation, if you don't have to be there, don't, because I'm thinking we're probably going to be at capacity.
Yeah.
It'll hold 200 people, and believe me, I've gotten enough calls that I think we're going to hit that pretty quick.
Reservations should be made.
We should have made that a deal. I think we're actually going to make tickets and give them out. And so anyway, just you can also watch that via our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Just go to YouTube and search South Arkansas Now, and then or you can go to our Facebook page for South Arkansas Now or our website.
Yeah.
SouthArkansasNow.com.
Easy to get to.
Yeah. And so we'll have it streaming for all those places. And Shay Wilson is going to moderate the debate. I met with the crew from MAD yesterday on the sound requirements and all that we're going to need. And so excited! I think it's going to be a great. Great event. And that'll be one of 2 debates. We'll have that one in February 16th, and we'll put on another one in October. Preliminarily looking at probably Columbus Day. We're trying to get some national candidates to also come in for that debate. And one thing about the House, the Senate, the government, it shuts down on Columbus Day because it's a federal holiday. So we're thinking we might be able to have them in for a debate then, or maybe that weekend. We'll just have to see how that rolls out. But anyway, February 16th, primary debate, going to be happening at Madhouse 101. You can watch it via YouTube, our Facebook page, or our website. So anything else, gentlemen?
Man, that's it. That's all I've got. That's what me too.
Jax, thank you again for being here with us this week. And actually, he stepped in at the last minute. We had a guest who was lined up to be here this week and couldn't make it for a number of reasons. And so Jax stepped in for us. We appreciate that.
Asked me at like noon today, and I showed up at 2.
Well, it was just going to be me and Boomer if not, but that's okay too. Anyway, thank you again for jumping in here and filling in, pinch hitting for us.
Oh yeah,
today and coming in relief.
Yeah,
going to the pen.
Off the back porch with Sandy Boomer and sometimes Jax. Again, you guys don't have to change the name, but I would be okay with it.
Well, Buddy Hall's been on here more than you have.
So we could do that, we could do that because we had Crosby, Steele, Nash, Young, Dallas, Taylor, and Reeves. So we could just keep adding. That was an old reference.
It was an old reference, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
But yeah, so off the back porch with Sandy, Boomer, Buddy, sometimes Jax, David Lee, because he's been on here multiple times. Ricky Roberts has been on here several times.
You could put the important people on there. We had Madison Murphy. We've had the sheriff on here. We've had the FBI guy,
Chris Plants. Fabulous guy, by the way, man. And we text pretty regularly.
Do y'all?
I love that guy, man. He's just
he's on fire, man.
He's a real guy too.
He's on fire.
He doesn't have a thing. He doesn't have a fault that he hides.
No,
he tells you about his real struggles and
he does
and real life. So anyway,
good day today.
Yeah, absolutely great day today. Thanks again, Jax. For y'all, thank you to our sponsors. And you seeing those new sponsors pop up on there, man, do we ever appreciate them. We appreciate you, our audience, for tuning in and keeping that going for us. Hey, like and share, please. That always helps. Anything you see South Arkansas Now post, like it and then share it. That helps a lot. In the meantime, have a great weekend. God bless.
With a history of being the voices you trust, this is Off the Back Porch.